important parts of the story are out there in public. And we're looking at nearly an hour and a half footage of cutscenes and gameplay that has been leaked by a disgruntled employee. Now, let me firstly say that I do not condone people leaking things before they're made. Like, I know if I'm working on a project that's taking me hundreds of hours or whatever to do and spent a ton of time and money working on it, if someone leaks that before it's released, I'd be very pissed off. However, this is a very extenuating circumstance, for the lack of better term, and we're going to explain why. Now, it's safe to say that just about all of us here, we're big fans of the first game, right?
Yeah. I played the first game at my brother Ricky's house. Played the remastered version. It was fantastic.
It's an incredible game. I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest games ever made. That's just my opinion, but I think it's an excellent game. Some people say it's the greatest game ever made. To be honest, I can understand why. I don't agree with that opinion, but I totally understand why, because production value-wise, it's 10 out of 10. The voice acting, perfect. The graphics, incredible. It still holds up today, even though it came out, 6-7 years ago?
It came out in 2013, yeah.
Yes, the story, the characters, the gameplay. I really don't have any major complaints with the game. My only major complaint with the first game...
Troy Baker!
My only major complaint with the first game is the fact that it's pretty linear, and nothing really changes if you play it through multiple times. But other than that, I really don't have any major problems with it. So, naturally, when the second game was announced, I was very intrigued.
Streaming art.
And
Let's sculpt. Cat Rider
I would
number
say
22.
Hyped, not super hyped, but pretty hyped. The reason why I wasn't super hyped is because there have been some weird things going on with Naughty Dog behind the scenes. The thing that really kind of made me go, is they kept delaying the game over and over and over again. They just eventually went, okay, you know what, we're delaying it infinitely. I'm just like, what are y'all doing? So that made me a little bit nervous, okay?
But delaying it right now is perfectly justified given the whole coronavirus thing. But that's besides the point.
That's besides the point.
That's another topic.
That's another video for another day.
Yeah, no, let's not make a video about that at all. We don't need
No, we don't need
The media is covering it.
Yeah, media is doing their whatever.
As shitty as it may be, they are covering it. So
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're just going to get this out of their way right now. None of us here are sexist. None of us here are racist. None of us here are transphobic, homophobic, whatever slur you want to use. It's just not true. We just enjoy fun games. Period. These leaks basically prove that that's not going to be the case, and we're going to explain why. So, I have here in front of me, firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about what the spoilers are. So again, I have a small disclaimer at the beginning of the video that this video is going to contain spoilers. So once again, if you really don't want to be spoiled, I recommend not watching this. But if you are a Last of Us fan, if you love this franchise to death, I still implore you to watch this if you haven't seen the spoilers yet. For those of you that have seen the spoilers and you just want to see some people rage, well, hey, welcome. Glad to have you.
Yes, please, welcome. Especially welcome to me.
I got some...
Give them the way I introduce myself.
Got some whiskey here, so I'm ready to go. So, firstly, I'm going to talk about the spoilers themselves, and then we're all just going to say our thoughts briefly, and then I'm going to go over a couple more articles that, if you're still not convinced that these leaks have ruined the game, the next couple articles I'm going to read off to you will 99% likely change your mind. And hey, if after you've seen this video and you're still excited for the game and you want to buy it, I'm happy for you. It's your money. Do whatever you want. So I will strongly defend that point again. If you're excited for this game, whether or not you've seen the leaks or not, you still want to buy it, that's totally up to you. These are just a couple of morons on the internet giving our opinion on this, and hopefully you can understand where we're coming from. That's really all we're trying to do with this, is if you're dead set on getting this game, hopefully you can understand why some people are really pissed off. So let's just jump right into this. So I have here in front of me an article that contains the major leaks that were released for The Last of Us 2. And again, as you can see, an hour and 35 minutes of gameplay and cutscenes. That... Holy fuck, that's crazy. Okay, anyway, so... Couple bullet points here. Confirmed. You play the first half of the game as Ellie. That's fine with me. And the second half of the game as Abby.
Should have been Joel.
So the second half of the game is Abby, the character featured in the PGW 2017 trailer, played by Laura Bailey. Excellent voice actress. Okay, so far, I am disappointed I didn't, reading that, I didn't get to play as Joel, but hey, they can make it work, right?
Yeah, totally.
Hold on.
In their defense, Joel is getting kind of old, like the character himself.
True, but still.
He's a bad
So-
He's got
Okay.
good character development to be seen and heard.
So a lot of these images I'm either going to blur out or black out because I don't want YouTube striking me down because I know they've been really douchebags about that lately. But anyway, next bullet point. The game has you fighting Ellie from the perspective of Abby. Okay, next.
Huh?
Dina is pregnant with Jesse's baby. Okay. Her and Ellie are trying to start a family. Okay, I mean, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, good for you.
Joel dies at the hands of Abby. There's a scene early on in the game where Joel gets his skull caved in by Abby with a golf club. Later on, a scene between Ellie and Dina takes place where Dina explicitly mentions Joel and Jesse being dead. We're gonna get back to that. I know. Hold on, guys. So, next point. Abby's father was the surgeon that Joel killed at the end of the first game. Him doing so caused this to her set out on a quest of revenge against him. Understandable motivation. We're going to get back to this. Next point. Abby, this just says Abby versus Ellie. This just seems like it's... See, what I don't know about this part yet, though, is if this is actually something you play and there's a cutscene, or if it's just a cutscene. From what I've seen, it's just a cutscene so far, but this could change. Alright, now we have some unconfirmed / speculation, but given what we've been provided so far, I'm pretty sure these are probably at least 70 to 80% true. So let's take a look at some of these other bullet points. Let's see. One of these surgeons Joel killed had a daughter called Abby. Okay. The Firefly Massacre destroyed her whole life. She's been looking out for revenge ever since. I mean, we've already kind of read that. Knew who Ellie was because of her dad talking about their shot at a cure. Figured out Joel from Firefly Records. That would make sense. Cole attacks Ellie's settlement, and she, Jesse, and Dina are part of the group sent to track down and attack it. Jesse's killed during this. That would seem true, too. Ellie is now violently angry and goes to Seattle looking for the cult's home to wipe it out. Meets Joel there because he heard about Jesse and came back to help her. From what we've seen from the trailers and stuff, I could see that being true, too.
Yeah, and the gameplay, too.
Abby finds Ellie because she's been in conflict with the cult too, so when Ellie hunts them to Seattle and is set to attack them with Joel, her group find them and attack. I could see that. So Abby kills Joel herself. Hold on.
You're having a hard time to leap.
Takes Ellie back to camp, debating what to do with her, since for all her hate, she doesn't blame her for the massacre. Okay? Ellie butchers her group to escape, and Abby is now motivated to hunt Ellie down. Second half of the game is spent as Abby chasing Ellie.
Come on.
Okay.
Hold on.
With the
Couple
script
more, hold on. We'll get back to this.
there.
We got a few more. Let's see. Ellie continues hunting the cult while you chase her down. So the ending is Ellie and Abby fighting to the death. You kill Ellie as Abby, and she leaves while realizing she's not really won in any meaningful way, since all she's done is get more of her loved ones killed for the sake of her killing Joel and then Ellie. The official ending is quote-unquote cycle of revenge, with the loose implication Ellie's friends will hunt Abby now in return.
If I can mention a little something real quick. Hearing Abby's hearing Abby's original motivation to kill Joel, now I get it. Because initially I didn't know. Because now I get it. Because let's go and look at it from her perspective. If it were us in that situation, we'd want to kill the guy too. We'd want to kill the guy too, wouldn't we? The question is, would we be able to? I mean, Joel's been surviving for more than 20 years. His brother Tommy wouldn't have survived without him, and Ellie wouldn't have picked up her skills without him. So.
Yeah.
Joel's ultimate badass through and through in the game, but it's like, so a new character like Abby. And no offense to anybody out there who thinks that Abby might be a great character, because for all we know, she might be. Like, don't necessarily take what we're saying to heart. For all we know, it might work, but we think that's
And
we think that's not
That's
funny.
the point.
But one thing I'd like
plans
to
can
point out.
change
One thing I'd like,
at
yeah,
some point.
they can change. But one thing I would like to point out though is that, like, would Abby necessarily have the skills to take both of them down by herself?
Well, she was young. I would assume she was a lot younger when her father was killed. I assume.
Okay, no.
I don't know.
Josh,
specifically.
do we know when The Last of Us Part 2 takes place? How long after the
5 years
original
later.
game?
No,
5 years?
from what I've heard, it's more along the lines of 7 to 10. 5 seems a little too short considering like the age gap. So I've heard 7 to 10, which sounds more feasible to me, especially if Abby was probably the same age, if not maybe a little younger, a little older than Ellie at the time. But considering how much people have grown since then physically, I'd say more along the lines of 7 to 10.
Admittedly, though, the picture I've seen of Joel, he does not look like he's aged particularly that much. But it's whatever. It's like,
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. It's not a huge
yeah, it's neither
thing.
here nor there. Anybody else have any input?
You guys go ahead. I gotta think this over.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
He's got to.
So, ask me what do you think my thoughts are on which part exactly? 'Cause
I've
I've got like a thousand
basically,
things.
like what you think of the idea of like. Well, actually, just go with whatever you want. I can't think of anything, so go with whatever you want to point out.
Well, so the fact that we got this new character, Abby, that we're playing as the second half of the game. Why would the creators, directors, and the maker of this game think it's an even remotely good idea to play this new character after killing the sole protagonist of the first game? Why would they think that'd be a good idea in the first place?
Yeah, it's a bit of flip the script kind of moment on you there. It's like,
If I can point out one thing about this, one thing I do agree with is that you're basically playing the bad guy again, just like with Joel. Like you could actually say he was the bad guy originally because he completely fucked the world's chance of getting a cure.
True.
yeah, that's.
But like, I don't see it physically possible because in the first game as Joel, you survive fights against like almost every single type of enemy of that game, and it comes down to him dying from
A golf club.
This random girl with a golf
He got
club
the Glenn
and-
treatment. He literally got the Glenn treatment in the worst possible way.
Oh
Don't
gosh,
do
what
that
did
to
you
my boy.
remind me of
Don't
that?
fucking do that to my boy.
And Abby is needed.
Yeah.
I thought we agreed not to talk about that.
Dude, don't talk about
shit,
never
that's
fucking-
That's what I
Anthony,
see
I
it
give you
as.
props, man.
The Walking.
That's what I see it as. But I mean,
Well,
even
he's
still,
not
I mean,
wrong.
you got to
Let's-
agree with
let's
me.
admit.
How do you physically see it being possible him surviving fights with all types of individuals to be being caved in by a golf club by a person we've never seen before?
And just met in this
Well, not
second
to
game.
like side against our points of view here, but I would like to point out it's like when you're living in a world like that, death is pretty much around every single corner, and even if you're like the ultimate badass, there's even the simplest of things could end up being your end. Anthony, is there anything else you'd like to mention?
No, not right now. At least I'm too pissed off to really even think about it.
Okay.
Alright, you
Are
wanna go
we
back to
on?
Logan?
Okay, now Logan. Now
Yeah,
we
go
will
back to
with
Logan.
you. Logan.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, what would you say?
input whatever you want. Input whatever you want.
To just kind of like put something out there for the Joel death.
Please do.
If you think about it, with what Josh said for the leaks, the game looks like it's more focused on the women aspect of it.
Yes.
So you could technically take a woman beating a golf club over Joel's head, killing him as like an anti-man thing. if you want to take it that way.
Not
I
that we're
starved
not that
it,
we're
so it's
saying
like-
that we are.
Yeah.
What are you, a bigot?
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Keep your hands on that keyboard. We know.
So Logan, please continue.
That's all I wanted to say.
No, that's all you got.
Nightmare, do you have anything?
Ah, man. You know, again, I'll point this out. We mentioned this earlier. I've never played Last of Us 1. I want to just make that clear right off the bat.
And
I do know.
any of you watching this are saying he's missing out, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, I know.
We're missing out on the first game. Not the second one so far.
Yeah, the first
Not
one.
at all.
I never
Yeah.
played the first one.
I mean, so far. But
I know pretty much the gist of it. I know like what happens at the end. Joel takes Ellie away from where she was being worked on or what have you. So I know the gist of that. But yeah, I don't know, man. Looking at the leaks right now, or realizing what the leaks are, and this character Abby, and that this new character we've never met before. We meet her in this game, and then apparently she's responsible for killing Joel somewhere midway or near the end of the game. And then you switch to her, and then you're killing Ellie, or supposedly killing Ellie, you know, depending on... I don't see it, man. I just don't know how... I don't know where Naughty Dog got this idea from. If this is actually a thing, I don't know what gave him this bright idea to kill not only Joel off, but Ellie?
I mean, again, Abby had a good reason for killing Joel.
Oh
But
yeah, I mean...
but in turn, it gave Ellie a good reason to try and escape.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's very. Again, it's like I
out
mentioned
there,
earlier,
most definitely.
Actually, you know what? That actually brings me to this one thing, like this one philosophy thing, like that. It's like in a world like that, basically revenge, it goes both ways, and there's really no winner.
Yeah. Which
Then
is what
again,
they're
I think you
implying.
could use that philosophy for real life. So,
Which
Yes.
is kind of what they're implying in the game.
yeah,
too,
I think from what Josh said, like Josh, you said like, in the end, like Abby ends up becoming conflicted, right?
or something along those lines.
Like
Yeah,
she feels like she hasn't won.
Let me just say,
Please do.
You let it
your
out, man.
turn.
You gotta get it out, man.
because these leaks are true, and I'll explain why in a second, but there is no possible way I am buying this game. There is no part in my system, in my being, where I could support this game. And I wouldn't play this if it were free. They would have to pay me and go on their knees and beg me to play this.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Alright, so...
Just imagine they hear this video and they come to us and they're like,
They knock on our doors.
please,
Here,
please,
they're like, here.
And if they wanted to,
Count to main.
if they wanted me to review the game, it would have to be unbiased. Like, I would not take bribery money to, like, please play our game, we'll pay you, but only say good things. Not gonna happen. Would never do that. But here's the thing, though. So, I kind of expected Joel to die in the second game. So, the aspect of him dying in the second game, I kind of saw that coming. So, the aspect of him dying doesn't bother me. The way he dies bothers me. And I'll explain why.
Especially so early.
I'll explain why.
Yeah, midway through the game.
I mean, all the marketing for The Last of Us 2, like, Ellie is all over the covers, she's prominently in the trailers, so I was like, okay, you're probably going to play a good chunk, if not maybe all of the game is Ellie, maybe someone else, but mostly Ellie. I never really thought of Ellie being a main character. She's a great character, phenomenal character, but I never could see her carrying a game by herself. Again, I'm cool with her being a playable character for even half of a game, but I don't think she could carry a whole game on her own. The reason why I really like the first game so much, the story, is that Joel and Ellie relationship. Because when Joel lost Sarah, his daughter, again, incredible but heartbreaking scene, it happens
Very, very
in the
sad.
beginning of the game,
Oh, yeah.
and then you have this other girl that comes along, and he doesn't want anything to do with her because he realizes that Ellie reminds him of Sarah in a way. And he doesn't want to be burdened with the thought of, if anything happens to this girl, I can't go through that kind of pain again. I can't. So the first half of the first game, he's trying to get Ellie to his brother Tommy. Even though he thinks that they've been doing good so far, Ellie thinks that she and Joel make a great team. Joel is still like, I don't want anything to do with you, because he can't handle the pain of losing someone like that again. But over time, we all know, as the game goes on, Ellie sort of becomes for lack of a better word, a surrogate daughter for Joel. And he begins to care about her, so much so that the whole last level of the game is you literally massacring the Fireflies to save Ellie's life, right? So that whole aspect of Joel wanting to take care of this daughter figure of his in the second game, that's now gone, right? That's the whole, like, that was the whole intrigue with Joel and Ellie's relationship. So you see what I mean, where Ellie makes a great character, but I don't think she could carry on a whole game by herself, at least a good chunk of the game without Joel. Now here's the thing. I would have been fine if Joel died at the end of the second game. And then the second game ends with Ellie, and then maybe, her girlfriend or whatever go on a quest for revenge. I'm 100% cool with that. Kill Joel off at the end of the second game. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But to kill him off so early in the game, and then this part boggles my mind. I genuinely don't understand what they were thinking. You want me to play as the person that killed him?
To kill Joel.
You must be fucking insane.
I don't want to kill her.
I mean, why not?
To
kill Ellie.
You gotta think about this. Come on, you gotta think about this. One of the people that made this game thought it was a good idea. You gotta think about that.
I know, right?
Someone at the studio thought it was a good idea, and they're like, "All right, let's do this. It's gonna do great."
Someone made I think it was. I was watching a few videos on this. I think it was by a YouTuber called The Amazing Lucas. He made a video on this, and he basically summed up a good metaphor. This is basically if the next Spider-Man game comes out, but in the first couple hours into the game,
they kill Spider-Man.
Peter Parker dies. Mary Jane die.
Oh my gosh.
Miles Morales dies. And then
you can forget it.
You end up playing as Dr. Octopus, and you team up with the Green Goblin, and the game ends with you and him robbing stores all across New York City.
Or taking over.
Yeah, okay.
You can forget it. You can forget it.
Okay, if that were
like some villain fan fiction right there.
I've only played I've only ever owned and played one Spider-Man game, but if that were to happen in any sort of Spider-Man game, I would not be happy. I would just never play this franchise again.
I would not. I'm like, no, thank you. Not interested.
But can you see what I mean though? This really is like this to me. It seems like fan fiction. But this is real.
Exactly.
Like, what if Joel was killed by his character and you get to play or something like that?
And I get where people are coming from, where they're like, hold on, they might make it work, it might make sense. I can't physically see this working. I can't. I mean, the same thing happened with, because leaks came out for The Rise of Skywalker, and I read them, and I was like, this is going to be shit. Unless something drastically, people were like, hold on, something drastically might happen. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure they won't because the writers aren't that clever. Guess what? Movie came out, it was still shit. So, my hopes are not high, and why would you make us play as the freaking... I don't understand how it's possible that you have this chick named Abby who looks like she has more muscles than Hulk Hogan.
She look pretty beefy.
Oh no, brother.
Oh, brother. What you gonna do?
And
wait, Josh, that reminds me. Wasn't it you that posted that picture?
Oh my lord, have you?
Oh my god.
Which one was that?
Macho Man Abby Savage.
Yeah, hold on.
He survived blows and hunters, and I just took him down.
But seriously, look at this. If you look at this picture, you can't see their face. The body looks like a dude. Look. That's a dude's body.
That looks like it would have been Joel if he had pecs, just toned muscles.
Ooh, yeah, brother.
That's a
If
girl.
those are supposed to be women's breasts, they
That's
look,
supposed
okay,
to be
I really
a
shouldn't be
girl.
saying that.
That's an edited face. Steph,
Those are small titties, man.
I'm showing
She's
Steph the
a-
picture.
Okay, let's
She's
not
very-
put it
she's a
like
very-
that, Logan.
She's a very buff girl. That's-
Yeah, she's a very
But
buff
I guess
girl.
to be fair, I get not to defend it necessarily, but I guess to be
Oh,
fair though,
man.
if you want to survive in a world like that, you kind of have to have some.
yeah,
muscle.
that's
Yeah,
true.
I mean,
gotta
look at
hit the
Joel. I
medieval
mean, look
gym
at
every
Joel.
now
He
and
wouldn't
then.
all that shit he had to lift, especially at the start of the game, especially at the start of the first game. He wouldn't have been able to lift if he didn't have muscle.
Oh man, and then this other picture where it is ma'am, it is ma'am.
Last time you said,
Excuse me, sir.
hit you with golf.
It's me.
Yeah, like
It is ma'am.
Joel's
And
like,
you just see
"Excuse me,
Joel
sir."
lying there dead,
ma'am.
full of blood around his head.
If I was Joel, I was like, okay, kill me. I can't take this anymore.
I can't do this anymore.
Actually, no,
That's
Josh.
just worse than this
Josh. I
shit.
imagine it you being more like this. Like you have your gun, and then you just chamber around and you just blow your own head off.
my daughter died in the first
You're like,
game early
okay,
on.
you're like,
I can't take it
You'll
anymore.
be like this, Josh. You'd be like, okay, I'll save you
Yeah,
the trouble.
just kill me with that golf club.
Yeah, my daughter died in the very first game, and now you got this crap. You just end it, please.
Like
God,
the only way I see this working is if like Joel is asleep or something, or which I doubt it because the room he gets killed in is like wide open. There's like no furniture in there, or he gets like sucker punched or something, or he gets ambushed by a big group and they're all holding him down while she beats him with the golf club, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way I could see it work. But again, it's not the idea of Joel dying, it's how he dies and how
it's how
early it is. And then these fucking dumb bitches decide, hey, you know what would be a cool idea?
Family friendly.
You should play as the killer.
They killed him.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And then kill his dog.
bitch that killed our main protagonist from the first game.
And kill the other.
I have a question.
Protagonist.
What is your question?
Last of Us 2, everybody.
If it's really
If.
big fucking
No.
Yes, brother.
What's the if?
if we do end up playing the game and we get to that final fight between Abby and Ellie, who would just let Ellie kill Abby and fail the game?
Man,
Right?
I'm raising my hand.
Hands up for that.
Oh,
Both hands are up.
My hand too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I got my foot up.
Here's the thing.
No,
Put up all your limbs. All your limbs are up.
Put him up. Put him up.
you're
No,
all,
here's
all
the thing.
in.
Here's the thing. Here's
I
the
got a
thing.
little
We would end up
Move
completing
on.
the game in the end, but we'd want to see Abby die at least a few times.
Now you know what I would
Oh,
do?
yeah.
And in The Last of Us Part 3, when you play as Abby and then you finally get to Ellie and then you have to fight Ellie as Abby, I would honestly just keep letting Ellie kill me over and over again and
Yeah,
just
right.
turn the game off after saying that for like 100 times.
That's the end of the game. That's the end of the game. Ellie kills.
Well,
Abby
me
at the
personally, I would
end.
just let Ellie kill me at least a few times, and like I'd probably let keep going until I got bored, until I saw like every
like, yeah, I
single
think I
possible
saw
way she
enough.
could kill me, and then I'd be like, all right, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and end this.
She'll
Just kill
kill you,
Ellie,
like-
and then I'll be like, okay, now I've got to live with myself.
to kill like Mortal Kombat style
And
fatality.
then I'll look at Abby feeling all conflicted and everything. I'll be like, yeah, you see how I feel. You know how I feel.
You know how you understand the
This is
pain,
why I kept letting you die.
pain that I feel right now.
It's not confirmed whether or not Ellie dies at the end of the second
Yeah.
game, but
People think that. People
either
think
way,
it's not official.
either she's going to die or she becomes the villain at the end, one of the two. Either way, Naughty Dog, what the fuck are y'all
Yeah,
doing?
I don't know.
Okay, now look.
What the fuck are y'all? This is Game of Thrones Season 8, Last Jedi levels of stupidity.
No, no,
That's
no,
something.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
It goes back to what I said earlier. It's a flip the script moment. It's like, whoa, just all of a sudden they
You
completely
people see,
flipped everything around.
see why Josh has
And
to
they
call us
changed-
idiots,
and they
right?
thought
it was a good
all
idea.
of us here are idiots.
They
You know,
thought it was
they-
a good idea for us fans. Actually, no, I don't think they really even cared about the fans at this point.
Who is this game for? Who is this
Who
for?
is the game made for?
I'll tell you who this game's for. It's for
the
politically
leftists.
it's for politically
Ah.
correct
Basically.
snowflakes.
Like even
I
if you
like it.
They
skip
have no sense
How
of
are you?
story.
even if you skip all the cutscenes in the game, you're still going to be like, wait, who am I playing as? Where are Joel and Ellie at?
Yeah,
Exactly.
we're the two supposed main
So
characters.
for
of
people
the
that are
story.
like, oh, just skip all the cutscenes and just play and just enjoy the gameplay.
I can
No.
already imagine it like this. People play through the game, they see Joel die, and they're so traumatized that they just can't process the fact that he's dead. They're like,
They
wait, where's
shut off
Joel?
the game.
They're like,
They just shut
wait,
off the
why aren't I
game,
playing?
like, that's it.
Why am I not playing as Joel? Like,
Yeah,
where is
honestly, if I got to that part of the game without knowing these leaks, and I got to that part of the game where Joel dies and then you play as Abby, I would turn the game off.
Yeah, I was thinking somebody's
Yeah.
gonna turn the game off immediately.
Fortunately for
That's the end
for
of the
us,
game.
Well, fortunately for you, you already said that you wouldn't be playing the game, so
Yeah, he's like,
Right.
I
"I'm
think
playing
you're
it
getting
anyway."
off easy.
Yeah, saving money, you know.
For Joel, Troy Baker said he wanted people to go into this game open-minded, so that it allow Joel and Ellie to have their story.
I think
You know who also said something similar? You know who said something similar?
Mark
said
Hamill,
something similar.
Last Jedi.
Did Mark Hamill say
No, Mark Hamill just shat on The Last Jedi.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Ryan Johnson said the same thing before The Last Jedi came out, saying this this movie is really going to subvert your expectations, and there's going to be some
Totally.
crazy twists that no one's going to expect, so you should go into it with an open mind. I think Daisy Ridley said the same thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it definitely
Twist.
did. It
You know,
definitely did.
Josh, you mistakenly said game. I feel like The Last Jedi could have been made into a game, but it would have done worse than the freaking movie.
yeah.
It probably wouldn't have even followed up the movie.
It probably
would've
would
done its own
thing.
It probably would have
It would've done its own
probably
thing.
would have sold one copy,
It probably would have done
digital
something.
or
Like, yeah,
hard
we'll
copy.
do
It
our
doesn't
own
matter.
thing
It probably
with
would
this
have
game.
only sold one, and they
Something
lose
can come.
millions. of
See,
money.
I'm fine. I'm fine with twists. I'm fine with shocking moments that take me by surprise. But
If they're done right.
here's the key ingredient: they have to be executed correctly, and they have to make
Yeah.
sense within the story you're telling. This doesn't make like. I understand the full game isn't released yet, and we don't know 100% of the story, but this is a monumental decision that makes no sense within the context of the story that's already been established. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same.
Yeah, I mean, literally.
Thing with the Star Wars
literally, here's the.
films.
I mean, Josh, can I?
Can I say real quickly? Hold on. Can I say real quickly?
Yes, you may.
Quick question for all you guys.
Hmm.
What does any of this have to do with the zombie outbreak?
No, nothing.
Doesn't sound like it has anything to do with
You
the
think
zombie.
they go back to the
Outbreak
original? You think
at
they
all.
go? You think they just continue the original plot? Where
I
like,
heard that there's like hardly zombies in like almost 75% of the game. Like
What?
at all, you don't even see them.
What?
That's what I've heard.
What kind of
Wait,
sh-
I've
So
read-
wait, not even so much as a.
Oh my gosh.
They were saying like there may be a couple of clickers here and there, but there's hardly like any
So it's
zombies at
like-
all from what I've read.
They're
Oh wow,
basically-
wow, Anthony, you could have just started off with that. We would have been like, well, right out of the gate, we're talking
They-
fucking stupid.
Basically, the villains of this is just the random survivors that you face throughout the game.
And
It's
some
basically
sort of
How-
freaking cult.
How can
Yeah.
anyone defend this? How can anyone defend this? Even gameplay-wise, you're like, why am I fighting humans most of the time? Where are the zombies? Where are the clickers? Where are the runners? Where are the...
In the
turn
first
this in-
game, you
Where's
fought
anything?
humans- First game, you fought humans like
Where are the
two
animals?
fists at a time.
Give me more game, please! Where the hell is
Actually,
everything?
In the first game,
Yep.
you fought humans like half the time. The other half, or maybe
Yeah.
nearly half the time. The other majority of the time, or at least the other half of the time, you were fighting zombies, clickers,
Yeah.
the occasional bloater.
Hated those
Yeah, I
things,
mean-
by the way.
I got it. Oh, for any of you,
I hated bloaters worse than
Just
clickers.
throw Molotovs at him. It does massive.
I'll keep that in mind if I ever actually get the first game.
Game has been out for 7 years. I'm pretty sure people know how to beat them, Justice.
I know. I'm just saying. Well, it'd be a good idea for Nightmare if he ever does get the
Yeah,
game.
I'll keep that in mind. The Molotovs. All right.
And
got it.
instead of you just wasting your bullets trying to shoot a
Do you guys think...
punch.
Let me ask you real quickly. Do you guys think that the reason why they're not focusing on the infected so much is because...
If you're about to say political correctness, yes.
they're trying to shove a certain agenda down our throats.
I don't know how that would.
Yes, in that case, yes.
I don't know what they have to do with zombies.
The game's not out yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're trying to. Yeah.
I don't know.
Josh.
Considering who the main villains are, yeah, I'd say.
It's like,
Yeah.
zombies.
Josh.
Screw the cool aspect, man. We'll
Now,
just have all of you fight humans.
Anthony, was that you that shared an article
Oh,
or
gosh.
something like that? And yeah, Anthony, you shared a YouTube video of this person who's involved with the game calling people like us bigots.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I'm like,
Like,
but I didn't watch it, but I understood basically the concept. I have not watched it. I'm not going to,
read
but
the
I understand the
comments.
concept of it when you said, "So we are bigots now, huh?" When you messaged that, I'm like, no, we're not bigots. We're just people that expect
It
a good
sounds
story.
what it sounds like to me
And a
is
good
that
game.
they can't take constructive criticism hearing us talk about what
Yeah.
we think about the links, and they're like, "Well, you can go fuck yourselves. We're still releasing it and all that."
I-
shit.
I saw a good comment.
Hang on, time out, guys. Time out.
Yeah.
Josh, doesn't that sound familiar? What am I thinking of? Starts with an S, and it's two
Shit
words.
wars.
Starts with an S. yes.
Suck
Shitty wars.
Shitty stuff.
You know what else? You know what else that reminds me of? Well, many things. Let's see. It reminds me of Game of Thrones Season 8, Ghostbusters, Terminator Dark Fate,
He's talking about Ghostbusters, the 2016.
2016.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about that one.
Let's make that clear.
Which
Not the one-
James
not the-
Roll,
yeah, I wanna make- I wanna
and he got
make that clear.
backlash for that.
I want to make that clear for everybody who was like, whoa, what? No, don't
He got
worry.
fucking
Not-
and
Yeah.
James Rolfe when Cinemasker reviewed that, he got fucking backlashed for it because people thought he was being sexist.
But yeah, I'm sick and tired of writers thinking that people that dislike the story don't like them because there's prominent females or there's prominent homosexuals or transgender. Look, I don't care about any of that stuff. You want to put a lesbian, a bisexual, transgender even in the game, I don't fucking care. I support that. Go for it.
Yeah.
Sure. But when you
wanna know
keep
something?
when
Don't
you
bitch about it.
when you keep pushing it down our throats and when you keep making it the main when you keep making that the main point of that
Of the
character,
whole thing.
saying that before we knew anything about Abby, the first thing that was announced was that is she homosexual? Is she trans? I forgot. I don't remember. She's not straight. So that's the first thing they announced was, for the first time in
probably trans.
The Last of Us is we're gonna have a transgender villain. Oh, and we're gonna have Ellie become homosexual. Okay, cool. What else?
Cool.
And the moment you ask that,
It's like whatever. So long as you make it work.
like I
They
saw.
experimented with it in the DLC for the first game. So.
Yeah, I was thinking they actually did.
Yeah, they did.
Experiment with it. in the
She
first
was
game.
a lesbian in
Yeah.
the DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was already.
So-
They already experimented with
It was already established.
To me, that's whatever. But a character's sexuality doesn't define their character.
exactly.
Like their actions
define a
and
story.
stuff define. It doesn't define a story. Do you really think I care what Master Chief does in his bedroom? Or who he sleeps with?
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
Moving my headset.
I don't.
I didn't need to.
I was playing Doom Eternal the other night. Do you honestly think I care what people Doom guy sleeps with? Do you honestly think I care? I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter who
Hey, we don't.
rips his hairs. No, he's just killing shit.
Is the
we
game
don't-
good? Is it fun? Does it have a good story? That's it.
Boom! It's so simple, guys. It's so simple.
But guess what you did, Naughty Dog? Guess what you did? You fucked up the story, the thing I care about. That's why I'm mad at the game.
It's so simple, guys. It's not rocket science or anything.
I saw this comment the other night where someone pointed out it was basically where it had Naughty Dog saying, in quotes, "We have homosexuals and transgenders in our game." And then someone replied with, "Cool, what else?" And then Naughty Dog replies, "You sexist!"
Oh.
It's like,
What was exactly
What?
sexist about their
That is
question?
such a
All
left
he-
turn. That's
all he-
such a left turn response from a very simple question. That is literally the most simplest question in the world, and he automatically assumes.
We're talking about Naughty Dog saying that. You wouldn't expect that because Naughty Dog these days are like one of the top tier game companies.
yeah, well now they're
All
saying
dude
that.
ass.
Like,
All dude ass.
the game creator...
Wow.
The game creator has been attacking the fans, saying, "Oh, for those of you that are not liking these leaks because we have, homosexual women and we have transgender in our games, y'all are homophobic and transphobic." Dude, shut up.
The fuck?
And even if they are,
you're
that doesn't
just-
necessarily. And even if they are, that doesn't. And even if you're right about that, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the point that they're trying to point out. That doesn't mean that. What they're asking is like, what else have you done? Have you are there more weapons? Are there more supplies?
What type of zombie types are there gonna be?
Creative.
Did you
What
got
kind
any
of new?
Yeah.
If the workbenches are back again, what kind of new parts can we give our
Right.
weapons?
are
Like,
there
can
new
we upgrade the
zombies?
assault rifle now?
Are there new zombies
If we
that
get
you may
one.
want to introduce, Like, if there are any new zombies you want to introduce, any new
Are there any zombies
types of
at all?
zombies? Yeah. I wouldn't-
Yeah. I have a couple more
it's just
articles. Let's see here. So,
All the guy asked is like,
The
what
Last of Us
is like
2
sexist?
gameplay leak came from dev that hates its divisiveness. This article is a pretty interesting read here. Plenty of spoiler-ridden footage was leaked online by an alleged disgruntled Naughty Dog employee. The Last of Us 2 leaked gameplay footage was supposedly released because they hate the political bias in the game. Interesting.
Interesting.
You see, now there's
Hold on,
something right
I got
there.
more to
We're
read.
not the biased. You are.
Right. So let's see. Earlier this year, Sony DMCA'd a post that alleged to contain the game's entire plot, and, if it was a legitimate leak, it proved to be extremely divisive with some of its far-left leading plot elements. Interesting. Troy Baker, the voice actor for Joel in The Last of Us, later confirmed that the game was super polarizing and it could not be thoroughly enjoyed with a closed mind. Somewhat of a hypocritical statement there, Troy. Continuing. And Troy Baker says, quote, "I want people to go in open-minded to this story and allow Joel and Ellie to tell their story, not the story that people think they would want to be told. If people go in open-minded to this thing, I think they will have a completely different experience than if they go in closed-minded," end quote, Troy Baker told Fandom. I'll get back to that in just a second. I'll bring that up later. Article continues, "People took the leak with a grain of salt since, at that point, it was nothing more than hearsay. However, the recent Last of Us 2 gameplay leak has pretty much confirmed some of the original source claims, which now makes us believe the Last of Us 2 plot leak was in fact legitimate, which we now know it is." I think this article came out a few days or so before... Actually, no, this came out the day the leak was released, so we didn't have all the
27th.
details yet, but yeah. So, an anonymous source linked to Naughty Dog reached out to us with the following message regarding The Last of Us 2 gameplay footage leak. "I don't doubt, even for a moment, that this leak came from the studio. The Last of Us Part 2 is very divisive, and as you can imagine, some of the team aren't really thrilled to be working on the game," end quote. The source goes on to talk about how stale the work environment has been at Naughty Dog and how so many people have had to bite their tongues because cancel culture is very much alive inside of the studio. That doesn't surprise me at all. Quote, "Many people would agree with me that this has been one of the worst projects they ever had to work on, and that's not just because some people disagree with the plot. Even some of the team members are Christians and don't necessarily agree with the game's message. They are also professionals and can put their personal politics aside to get the job done. What really sucks about all of this is the working environment."
Damn.
The team is very divided on the game, and even voicing your concerns on its story will upset certain individuals. It usually results in said person being called closed-minded or even phobic. Yeah.
Jesus.
Or some such nonsense. Some people literally have to bite their tongues of fear of losing their jobs, even careers, to an outraged mob. End quote. Okay. Article continues. This is getting juicy.
This is Jesus.
Oh, hey, Josh,
My
wait,
juices
before you
are flowing.
continue, Josh,
You never
continue,
really know, man.
Before you
never really
continue,
know. Goodness.
Logan, Josh mentioned Troy Baker as being hypocritical as something he said. I'm gonna ask you to point out a little something on Troy Baker that happened with Troy Baker, okay? But that's when we get back to the topic. Josh, please continue.
So the article continues. Our source also alleged that the high turnover in staff is because one of the reasons mentioned above. Quote, what's really sad is that nobody is allowed to talk about any of this. Many employees have left Naughty Dog because in-house politics, and they are under a strict NDA, which stands for non-disclosure agreement for those of you that don't know, and absolutely cannot discuss the studio's production's policies secrets. Oops, end quote. I'm not making that up, that's what the quote says.
Wow.
Oh gosh,
That's pretty good. That's actually a great way to end it off.
it gets worse. Naughty Dog has a turnover rate of 70%. Oh gosh.
And didn't like most of the original team of Naughty Dog left during production of that game?
Yep.
Most of its senior staff that has been there for.
I'll elaborate on that
basically
too later on. We're gonna get into some juicy stuff here in a bit.
Yeah, juicy stuff.
So
Josh,
again,
wait, you said turnover. You mean as in like they quit?
yeah, or they just left.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
70%.
Well, you know what, Naughty Dog. That should
Holy
tell you
moly.
that you're the ones doing something wrong.
There's something
Yes.
wrong with this group now.
So, yeah.
Something wrong here.
Naughty Dog has a turnover rate of 70%, which skyrocketed around the time The Last of Us Part 2 went into production. Our sources' claims have
Holy
been
moly.
corroborated by a former Naughty Dog animator, Jonathan Cooper, who left them in early October last year. Jonathan Cooper alleged that Neil Druckmann would force employees to sign a very strict NDA upon leaving Naughty Dog, or he'd withhold their final paycheck.
That's illegal.
That should- yeah, okay, hey.
That is completely
In
illegal.
any business company,
Naughty Dog. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, 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 Naughty Dog.
Whoa!
Naughty Dog, listen.
Woo!
Listen,
That's
I would like to
fucking
point
illegal.
out.
Spicy.
Now,
Call 911
actions like
right
that
now.
could get
We
the
got-
whole company shut down for good.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Somebody better get that.
That's-
Call
and that's
911
at
right
a
now.
minimum. That right there
That's
is actually you could say at a minimum. I could
Oh
be
my-
wrong about it being at a minimum, but you guys could end up going to prison.
So
Call
let's
911 right now.
keep going. We're not quite done with this article yet, so
How did they
we're
get
gonna get back to that as well. Don't worry. Article continues. A source added, quote, it was primarily the senior team that left Naughty Dog, and to assume that it's because of long working hours is laughable. Anybody that has ever worked in game development knows that this is a crock of shit. That's what the quote says. I'm not making that up.
He ain't playing games.
Since I can remember, development has always been like this. Get to work, chug coffee, and don't leave until you've completed the task that you're assigned for the day. It's part of the fun. It's a part of the lifestyle. What's not fun is working in a toxic environment. End quote. Article continues. The Last of Us Part 2 villains are allegedly homophobic Christians. So it is understandable that it would be very difficult for a Christian to work on this game. That's weird, dude. Anyway, continue.
Homophobic Christian.
Sony have not yet announced an official release date for The Last of Us Part 2. Well, they have now. The game's been delayed due to COVID-19. That's debatable. I don't think that's true.
No, they could literally just. They could literally.
It's not.
understandable.
Doom Eternal sold exceedingly well, and 99% of the game sold on digital, so that's not true. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you don't mind politically divisive and seemingly very linear games, then we strongly recommend that you do your best to avoid any kind of spoilers, especially The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay footage leak. If you don't know what's coming, you will definitely be shocked. That's where it ends. Yeah.
Too late. Everyone's already pretty much getting the gist of it now.
There is a lot to unpack here.
Oh my
There is.
gosh.
Yes, there
wow. Wow.
Holy
like to start right now?
shit.
Somebody needs to go to jail right now.
I think the withholding the paychecks part really
Yeah,
pisses me off.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to go to jail
Yeah,
right
big
now.
time. Oh, you know what? Let's start with that.
Someone
needs to call
911
because
right-
I want us
someone
to
needs
get
to
that
call
off our chest
911.
right now.
Right now. Someone
So,
needs to
Neil
call
Druckmann
it's
needs
like-
to go
right
to fucking jail
like,
for that shit.
Logan,
Like, oh
Logan,
my
go ahead.
gosh.
Yeah, like you just said, Logan. Like Logan just said, you could literally, at a minimum, you could end up facing fines or whatever. At a moderate level, your company could get shut down. At a maximum level, your company would get shut down, and you'd be sent to prison. And
there
that,
goes
and I'm pretty
nothing.
sure that one
You
right there is the
can't-
most likely to
You
happen.
can't legally withhold paychecks just because they're saying you have to like
Reasons.
sign this agreement and agree to this and that and bite your tongue and all that stupid shit.
Unless,
Exactly.
well, we'll get to this in a second, but unless they're under contract, which is legal, but we'll get to that later because there's another article that goes over that in more detail. But if you're not under contract, it is very much illegal.
Isn't it actually a federal crime?
I don't know if it's federal, is it?
I don't know.
Withholding.
I don't know.
I don't know, but it sounds like it should be.
Hey, I'll Google it. Let me Google
Yeah, I was
it.
about to say, y'all.
Please
look
do.
it up.
I'm already
Please do.
doing
Let's
it.
look this up
Don't
right now.
Yeah, Logan,
Let's look
you
this
got
up right
it?
now because this will definitely help.
Everyone, look it up.
And if it's a
We have
federal
Google at
crime,
our
I'm pretty sure
disposal.
That means there's not a statute of limitations to it.
To Google.
I know it's illegal. I don't know
An
on.
employer is not allowed to withhold or fail to pay the salary or wages an employee has earned. Unfortunately,
Oh.
legal withholding of salary and wage theft is a fairly common problem.
So in
Ooh.
other words, it's not federal.
It is against federal law. Ooh.
According to state and
naughty,
federal
naughty,
law.
naughty
I knew I was
dog.
onto something.
Naughty
Where-
dog.
Where's my phone?
Naughty
I didn't call
dog.
911
Naughty dog. You're gonna
immediately.
get
Where's
the
my
FBI
Yeah,
on your
might as well
ass.
call the
911.
cops.
Someone call 911 on Neil Druckmann right now.
Fucking FBI.
We need investigation on Naughty Dog. There's
Can we get
Shady
Chris
stuff
Hansen on
going-
Yeah,
this?
hang on.
Chris
Chris Hansen.
They work for the FBI.
Oh.
They're gonna be.
Oh my god.
file these
Chris
cases.
Hansen
God.
has fucking connections to the
Hey,
FBI. I might
Emily
look at him on
Prentice,
it.
Hey, Emily Prentice, get Dr. Spencer Reed and everybody else. There might even be a serial killer there, but there's definitely a serial paycheck withholder.
Holy fucking shit. That's great.
Save us!
Again,
man.
people, you see why Josh called us idiots at the beginning.
Yeah, we're
Well,
all
seriously,
we're
Chris
just
has to get on that.
morons.
But
We're
idiots
fun
for-
idiots.
We're idiots.
Within
We're
reason.
idiots
We're
with
fun.
passion. We're idiots. We're idiots that take this seriously enough.
Right.
We love video games.
It's all that matters.
Yeah,
Enough said.
we
Love
very
video
much
games.
love video games. I was playing Fable Anniversary before all this. But anyways, what else should we talk about? Because I feel like we kind
what
of got
else?
that covered.
Let's talk a
we got
little
that
bit about the this Troy Baker quote that says, "Go into this game with an open mind."
Yes,
Baker.
Josh, that brings me to this. Logan, yeah, sorry, Josh, but Logan, would you please, you know what I was wanting you to mention, right? I hope you can figure it out.
Not exactly, no.
It's
remember.
a little something between Troy Baker and Nolan North.
Yes.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
you guys,
Logan.
you guys
if
mentioned
you,
this to
Logan,
me.
Josh, Josh. Since you sound like you know what you're talking about too, Logan, Josh, if you would please, because I don't really know the
guys-
story too well.
You guys mentioned
You
this
talk
to me,
first.
and
You talk first. I talk first. What's going on, Josh?
Logan, you can go ahead because I've been doing lots of talking.
Please
Okay.
do, 'cause I'm-
If you know more, you can fill everything in after. But basically, earlier, like this month or year, wherever the fuck
somewhere
this
around there.
happened, Troy Baker and Nolan North, North
no one
had
Nolan North.
No one no more.
Easy from Sweden.
no one no more. no
Basically,
one.
Troy
I'm
Baker,
sorry, don't kill me.
basically Troy Baker and Nolan North had a little bit of a falling out.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Which
about.
sucks.
That's an
what
understatement.
Does. And due to that little falling out, little argument thingy, Troy Baker has now left their joint channel on YouTube called Retro Replay.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure one of the videos they did, which was like sponsored, quote unquote, sponsored by Watch Mojo, was they went and looked at their previous roles. This being, or The Last of Us being one of them.
Oh boy. Shit, it just got real, people. It just got real.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Actually, it's been real.
It's pretty real. It's pretty real right now. It's pretty real.
I don't know what he's like, what he said about the first game, but if he said something about the first game that was like, okay, this is gonna be like dark and scary and spooky, shitty, sort of stuff, and then says to go into this open-minded for this game, it's like, yeah, it's a little hypocritical.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that bad writing at all. No, not at all. It's not bad writing.
You just have to go in unclosed-minded in order to realize the goodness.
You have to think
I'm
about
sorry,
it.
but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but not every time is going into something open-minded the way to go.
Yeah, I know
Oftentimes
Tori-
it is, but there are times when
That's such a
closed-mindedness
stupid, that's such a stupid argument to make about going into any kind of media. It's like, oh, I'm going to go see The Room. I heard it's the worst movie ever made, but you should go into it open-minded.
I mean, that's kind of the thing. If people don't go into stuff
Hey,
like
it
this
created memes
with a
and
closed
stuff,
mind,
so-
they won't be able to voice their actual opinions.
That's the thing. That's a good point. If you go into it open-minded, then you're more willing to look past all of the plot holes, all of the issues, everyone's criticisms. You're willing to just ignore all of those. That's a big problem in today's culture is people are too accepting of certain things. There needs to come to a certain point where you put your foot down and you say, this is shit.
This is
Now,
just terrible.
another thing. Here's one thing I'd like to point out. You're calling us closed-minded. You people are the ones who are not taking
Exactly.
criticisms to heart. You're the ones being closed-minded.
These are the people attacking us, calling us sexist and stuff. They're the ones being closed-minded.
I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Josh. You just said that whenever it comes to like video games and movies and stuff like that, you should go in closed-minded. But if you're making the stuff, when it comes to the criticism, and I'm still learning this myself to this day, so if this sounds ironic, then I'm sorry, but it's like you got to go in open-minded. I've always understood that you got to go into to stuff like that open-minded. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to take it to heart. And it could be, and what you're hearing more often than not is for the best.
I've always been a believer of you should always be somewhere in the middle of being open and closed, so partially closed.
It should.
Especially if it's a sequel to something. This is a sequel to a game to many people that is basically a masterpiece to them.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
So
Yeah.
That's game.
people already have certain expectations because this is a sequel. If you're saying, oh, be open-minded into this, that puts people off the wrong way because then they're like, wait, if you want me to be open-minded, then I should just accept whatever crazy change you're going to throw in here?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I
And
mean?
Josh, I'm also gonna put this in. Gordon Ramsay, he applies this to his cooking business. You should apply this to business in general, including the gaming industry. Keep it professional, but not personal, especially when it comes to the criticisms.
Right.
Shout out to Gordon Ramsay.
Love it, man.
Yeah, I mean, thank you,
one
man.
thing
You speak logic
Shout
to
out
the business, dude.
Shout out to Gordon Ramsay.
I mean, that's the way business works. You got to keep it professional, but not personal. Otherwise, and
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Fuck
gaming itself can be turned into a business. So you got to work it. So you got to look at it the same way. But like sometimes we take this stuff personally, as well as professionally, because it's like we're the ones buying this.
Yeah.
One
We're
thing I would
playing-
like to point
buying
out.
the stuff.
We're paying like
Dude.
$60 to play this game for who knows how long.
Look
we're
at what happened
bored.
with Anthem.
So I want to talk
bet.
a little bit about this because this is really interesting to me. So no one really knows why 70% of the staff have left Naughty Dog, like the exact reason why they left. I'm sure there's a multitude of reasons, but I'm sure one of them is because of the quote-unquote toxic
Yeah,
environment.
toxic.
Yeah.
And this, to
People
me,
keeping-
again, it proves how hypocritical a lot of these people are, saying, you know, be open-minded and stuff, and yet at the same time, when people force there's certain ideologies and certain politics into a game, and they basically are like, if you don't like it, then shut up. Like, that's what seems to be happening with this one.
At that point, it's not.
You
It's
do
not
under-
even professional anymore. At that point, it's more personal when they
It's
say shut
very
up
personal.
like that.
Exactly. They're
It's
exactly.
very
they're,
personal.
they're making it personal and not professional. I mean, are you people saying
It's about
that
what we
taste
want.
shouldn't be? Are you people saying that taste shouldn't be subjective?
Yeah,
That's
like,
part of closed-mindedness.
can you imagine? Because this line or this sentence here from this article is very interesting to me. Is that The Last of Us Part 2 villains are allegedly homophobic Christians, so it would be very difficult for a Christian to work on this game. Can you guys imagine if, let's just say for a moment that you're Muslim and you're working on a video game and the villains of the game are homophobic Muslims? How would you feel?
I'd be like, what?
I would be like, okay, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah. What?
Right?
What am I in? What am I getting myself? What is this? What is this?
So to me, it's just like,
If it had anything to do with agnostics, then I'm pretty sure Logan and I would probably be out.
Sure, you can fuck right off with that paycheck. I'm out.
I mean, you're always treading on thin ice whenever you're making a certain demographic the villains of something. That's why I think it works so well for the first game, just having zombies and, just like shitty humans that didn't really identify with anything. They were just shitty people that were just killing everyone in their path, the villains. But primarily the zombies, because I'm pretty sure zombies aren't religious.
No, they're not.
So
I don't even think they
No,
should
they
be
are religious. They're they bow to the human flesh gods.
they eat brains. They eat brains.
I guess,
Human
yeah.
flesh gods.
They're
Cannibalism.
They're
Yeah, they're cannibalists.
Which, to be fair, these zombies, they technically are cannibals because they're still technically alive and human. They're not actually dead.
They're just very, very, very ugly.
They're just... Well, yeah, I mean, they've got fungus growing all over them, so yeah, the ugliest one
They're
way
very,
of putting
very,
it.
very, very, very ugly.
Especially those damn bloaters.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the whole NDA and withholding final paycheck situation here in a bit, but
Oh yes, please.
there is
I don't know if I have anything more to say.
no, there will be a lot more, and you're gonna be even more pissed off because I don't think you've heard everything yet. So
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Please
goodness.
continue.
this section, and I have a lot to say about this one. This is where we're going to be talking about the creative director of the game, a man called Neil Druckmann. I have a lot to say about this guy because I think a big reason why this game is failing right now is his fault. I'll explain why.
Wait, what's his name?
Neil Druckmann.
There's
Oh,
no
I thought you
end.
said
Don't
I
worry.
thought you said drug. I thought you said drugman, and I was gonna.
He probably is. He probably is.
He's probably on drugs. He's definitely on drugs.
He's either probably on drugs or he is drunk.
If you say his name really fast,
He's drug. He's
if you say his name really fast, it sounds like that. Neil Druckmann.
drug. You're drug.
You know, I'm gonna go on a limb and assume that his friends and family, like his personal friends and family, call him that all the time.
You know what? We're
Probably
officially from here on out. His name is going to be Neil Drunkman.
All right, drunk
Neil
man.
Drunk Man.
Mr.
right,
Drunk
drunk
man. Mr. Drunk
Well,
man.
Josh, you're drinking whiskey, so.
I'm not drunk yet, but
Well, yeah.
He's still so. He's
fair
hanging
enough.
in there.
hang on there.
Into the,
At the end of
Yeah,
this, I'm
well,
going to be
you'll probably-
shit-faced.
You'll probably want to get
He
hammered
sure
after all
hopes he
this.
was right now.
So,
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. and
so
Mrs.
Josh,
Drunk
as you were
man.
saying,
So-
Drunk man.
This next article, we're going to dive into the creative director a little bit, and I think this is the main reason why the game's failing is because of him. So, this article says, The Last of Us 2 leak leaves director heartbroken.
You saw this coming.
I'm so sad my shitty game is not going to be sold well now.
I can't take this. We have to cry like a little bitch.
"Oh, baby, what's his
My game where people need to go in open-minded has been ruined.
And this guy is...
We're
We're gonna read some comments too after the article because he just gets destroyed in the comments of this article.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this.
So the article says, by now you'll no doubt be aware that extremely sensitive material from anticipated exclusive The Last of Us Part 2 is leaked online. While the title has received a new release date today, and I know why, I'll explain that too in a second, the news has been overshadowed by the tidal wave of spoilers being shared on social media. It's made interacting with the release almost impossible. Nevertheless, Crush director Neil Druckmann took to Twitter to share a short message with fans. Heartbroken for the team, heartbroken for us. We're still incredibly excited to get the game into your hands.
Because
Oh, you got something else?
I'm just now. I decided to go all the way back up to our Last of Us 2 spoiler talk and Messenger. Yeah, I now remember. That's the dude whose picture on the Wikipedia has the rapist face. So we'll call him Rape Face.
Oh, God.
Works for me.
Not saying he's raped anyone.
Rapey drunk man. Rapey drunk man.
He raped the production of
I'm
this
just saying.
game.
I'm not saying he's raped anyone, but I'm just saying.
He raped the characters. That's what he did.
We all get 60% off of all future games.
Anthony, if I was there with you, I'd give you a high five right now. That was.
Wait, what did you say?
He raped the production of this game. He essentially did at this point.
I was like, that was here. Imaginary high five. Here we go. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Nailed it. There you go.
Oh wait!
Congrats on being the loneliest person here. Just high five yourself.
In the chat.
We all five.
He might as well have raped the development of this game.
Nevertheless, Crush director Neil Rapist took to Twitter to share a short message with fans.
We're gonna get so much backlash, but we'll take it.
I don't give a fuck. Because this game is gonna suck.
Exactly.
And
because the game's gonna suck.
whenever there's a quote by him, I'm gonna talk this way, so just deal with it.
Please do.
Boy.
Heartbroken
We'll
for
try
the
to-
team. Heartbroken for our fans. We're still incredibly excited to get the game into your hands. Naughty Dog shared a similarly brief statement urging its followers to not spoil the release for others. No matter what you see and hear, the final experience will be worth it!
He sounds like a serial rapist
He
now.
definitely sounds like.
Of course, that hasn't stopped many from already drawing conclusions from the out-of-context scenes. The good news is that the title, at least, has a release date now, June 19th. It was originally out in February, before being pushed back to May. Let's hope there are no more leaks as we march closer to the title's summer launch date. Ooh, this article did not age well. Not at all.
Okay, so it must be really extremely sensitive material if the fucking creator's
Yeah, I know.
crying about it on fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
And
If
how
you're-
out of context are the scenes that we got?
Exactly. I mean, if they brought up like big time plot points for the game, how out of context could they be? It doesn't sound like they're out of context at all.
Okay. I gotta read some of these
Using
comments.
Using full sarcasm, this article will most definitely age well when the game's released.
Using full
Totally.
non-sarcasm, these people
This-
are trying
this
to
isn't
defend.
age well
These
at
people
all.
are trying to defend themselves when they should clearly be defenseless.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
You got nothing.
Well, if the work culture was normal, this would not have happened. Jason Schreier had reported on the toxic workplace multiple times. That and the story is just dumpster fire. If the story was any good, the outrage and damage control would not have happened.
It's definitely gonna be put in the dumpster here. It's dumpster fire. It's
Can I just say too that
Before we go.
Avengers Endgame was spoiled for me, but I wasn't angry because I liked the story and then I watched the movie and I still love the movie. If your story is good,
Try.
if the story is good,
got me too. Yeah.
people are gonna go out and support it. If your story sucks, people are not gonna support it. It's as simple as that.
Oh no, there'll be people supporting it. It's just they'll be few and far between.
Yeah, some will probably.
And they
be
probably
mixed.
won't. And
but-
for all we know, at least a couple of them probably won't be supporting it like necessarily voluntarily. That's just me making a joke. I'm sorry, people. but either way, you get what we're saying. You get what we're saying. It's like if it's good, we'll support it. If it's good, the populace will support it. If it's bad, the populace won't support it. That's how it works. That's how life works.
Okay, this comment I just read is about to make me angry because it sounds like
Oh,
I'm supporting
boy,
this
please read
game.
it.
He's looking at the comments. Or he's like, oh no.
It's on. Hold, let me find it. It was on Instagram. Oh yeah, someone said on Instagram it was about the release of the game. Said, "Last of Us isn't a happy game. What the fuck were y'all expecting? A unicorn shooting rainbow from its arse? Last of Us is a dark game that's rated mature. I'm here for the roller coaster dark story they're going with. It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow, but I'd rather cry while playing the game than a smile on face. And Apocalypse is no joke, and shit happens."
Okay, now,
So-
let me say something
Well-
about that
But
comment.
apocalypses don't
Let me say
have
something.
all
No,
female
time out.
leads.
Time out. Time out. Let me say something about the comment. What exactly is so happy about a unicorn? That's disgusting.
That sounds pretty disturbing.
It's completely disturbing. That's not something we want to see.
If it was
in
really
fact, that
no.
looks like.
Game,
In fact, that looks
Sounds like
something
this
more.
person didn't play the first game. Is what
Sounds
it
like this guy's.
Exactly.
Sounds like that guy's actually drunk.
It
on
sounds
drugs.
like they've been.
That man's on
and
drugs.
It sounds like their version of zombie games are Lollipop Chainsaw.
Like, what is this, Dead Rising?
Dead Rising's good, man.
Yeah, I mean, Dead Rising's good, I'm just saying.
The first few games, anyways. Like
It's like,
and
what
I'm
is
talking
it, Dead
before Dead
Rising?
Rising 3.
What an incredibly idiotic, naive, just plain fucking stupid comment. Like, we're all aware this is a dark story. Like, we're all aware that we're not idiots, and we're not aware this is supposed to be all happy. We understand that. However, you can make a... I don't think what you're understanding is you can make a story depressing and good. The problem is this story is depressing and shit.
I think I think that person was trying to be so open-minded that they. I think that person was trying to be so open-minded that they were actually being closed-minded.
And like I said earlier, like, I'm fine with Joel dying as long as it's executed well and it has to make sense.
At the right moment.
This doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like, the very, like, there's facts out there that disprove your argument. The very fact that 70% of the team left because of this game. 70%.
With the 70%.
70% of this team left because of this game. So, if you're still not convinced, that should definitely turn you away from this. Like,
yeah.
How can you support a company where the executives withhold the final paychecks from their employees? How can you support
70%
that?
of them are all just gone now.
Exactly. What's the logical sense in withholding your employee's last paycheck?
Which again, as we stated, is a federal crime.
Yes.
Like, I'm totally fine. Like, I really like dark stories. I like them a lot more than lighthearted stories because dark stories, they tend to be more relatable, in my opinion. We're able to... More realistic.
Yeah.
We grow really close to the characters. Lighthearted stuff, you don't really have to take too seriously. You don't have to be too worried about what's going to happen to the characters and stuff because you know they'll all be fine. That's why I like darker stories more. And I'm not a huge fan of happy endings either. I like bittersweet endings where there's some sad things, there's some good things, but it's kind of mixed.
Like with The Last of Us Part 1.
With The Last of Us Part 1. My reaction when the first Last of Us game ended, it wasn't, oh, that was so nice, that was so peaceful, and oh, I feel so good inside. My reaction was, wow.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. Put in another example. Gears of War 3. Like, the ending was just freaking bittersweet. I mean, like, do you necessarily feel like you won? Sure, you saved the world and everything, but do you feel like you won? I mean, Marcus, he lost his best friend, who fucking sacrificed himself. That part of the game freaking almost made me cry, by the way, last time I played it. I almost cried, and no game has ever done that to me before.
It goes with the line that Marcus said at the very end, where Anya says, or something.
Well, exactly. He said, "What have we got left? What do we have left now, Anya?"
Yeah. And then of course
and she said,
we got
tomorrow.
Yeah. It's very bittersweet.
That's pretty bittersweet right there. That's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah, it's very bittersweet.
Kind of makes me wish that's where the franchise ended, but that's another video.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although I did hear the next games did well, but that's besides the point. We're talking about The Last of Us.
But yeah, let's get back to Mr. Neil Rapist here.
We're just giving examples of bittersweet endings. But yeah, let's get back to Neil. Let's get back to Neil Drew Rapist.
Neil Drew.
Sorry.
Just saying a dude's name that looks the way he does, it makes me want to puke.
Dankman.
I find it funny how if you look up this guy's wiki article, there's an entire section about him just called views, as if that's some kind of really relevant thing. But I think this really drives home.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
This really drives home the whole situation. So Rapist is a regular advocate of gender equality in video games, citing Anita Sarkeesian as an influence.
What the fuck?
Who the fuck is that?
Was that English? I don't even know what you just said.
Is that a person?
It's one of his
It's a
Israeli
feminist and
friends.
public speaker.
You guys don't know
Oh.
who you guys don't know who Anita Sarkeesian is?
Nope.
I have no idea.
That's surprising.
Oh well.
But is it
Basi-
a good thing that we don't know?
I mean, is it a good thing we don't?
Yes and no. I mean, you should be aware, but at the same time, as soon as you know more about her, you'll be really pissed off.
Well then.
She constantly attacks video games. She's a very, very hardcore feminist with very radical views. Just her name alone should piss you off. So again,
I literally didn't understand what you said. I'm like, what was that English?
so Anita Sarkeesian is a influence to the creative director of The Last of Us 2. Again, just keep that in mind.
Why don't we call her?
It gets
Anita
worse.
Sarkeesian?
He presented the Ambassador Award to Sarkeesian at the 2014 Game Developers Choice Awards and regularly advocated her projects.
There's something going on here.
Throughout the development of Uncharted 4, Rapist was influenced by concept artist Ashley, I'm not going to try to pronounce their last name, Swidowski, to include more female characters in the game. That's fine, but what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
She is constantly, she is constantly challenging me and pushing for diversity in our cast, he said. Upon focus testers' criticism regarding the inclusion and portrayal of female characters in Uncharted 4, what the fuck are you talking about? Uncharted 4 had great female
Yeah, what are you talking about? That was a great game. Granted, I haven't played it yet, but
Moving on.
I haven't played it
Really
or
want
seen any
to.
videos, but I did hear it did really damn
it
well.
was phenomenal game. Looks awesome. Looks
One
great.
of whom was forced to leave due to an outburst. Rapist expressed, "Wow, why does that
Why
matter?"
does that matter?
Just what?
you guys just
I had to, John.
You had to look it up.
I
I
was
just
looking it
clicked
up.
on
I was
fucking
on that
big
spot
reviews
right
as
where
you
you
two
were
were
saying
saying
it,
that.
and so I had to
read,
say it.
wow, why does it matter?
Similarly, Ellie of The Last of Us was initially received negatively in early focus tests. Rapist is proud that Ellie is a strong, non-sexualized female lead character and hoped that
Accurate.
other developers would take similar approaches to characters without fear of unpopularity. Rapist and Streley were surprised by some of the backlash in regards to generals in The Last of Us. Who the hell was against that? Who said that? Who said that?
No one.
I have no idea.
I
But
have no-
although
I don't know.
Rapist noted that the more progress we make, the more those problems stand out. He declared it a misconception that female protagonists hinder game sales. Who the fuck says that? Evidenced by the success of The Last of Us. I mean, wait, how does that evidence anything?
No one
It actually
ever.
does.
No one has ever
Look at the
won
fucking Tomb Raider games.
Tomb Raider games. Hold on a second.
it's like the
Let's do a
only
simple
thing
Google
I'll
search.
Proof that's a misconception. Look at all the fucking Tomb Raider games
Hold
there
on,
are.
hold on.
How
There's
is
so
your
many.
voice not hurting you right now, Logan? I can hear your voice cracking. You got used to that?
Yeah, I have
Everyone's-
actually.
All right,
feel like everyone-
Before this-
through a
this
simple Google search,
Thank you.
video. Some of the best-selling video games with female protagonists: Resident Evil 2, Silent Hill 3, Mirror's Edge, Bright Memory, Half-Life Alyx, Resident Evil 3, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, The Walking Dead, Metroid franchise. I could go on and on and on and on. Do you get my point, dude? You have no idea what you're talking about.
Clearly, you were just so drunk and drugged. You
Obviously, The Last of Us was not like the fucking golf ball and the fucking hole-in-one thing. That's like, hey, the misconception of female protagonists hindering game sales is false.
Bayonetta, Alien Isolation, Child of Light, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Horizon Zero Dawn. Dude, what are you
So
talking
many
about?
with female.
If you have a good game, Recore.
So many.
Recore, yeah.
I think when he's getting...
So many games.
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like Bayonetta might not have been that great of an example. Although I personally think it is.
I've never
No,
played
because
it.
Hey,
Knew what you were getting
listen,
into
bear
with
with
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta can be,
Oh,
she can
no.
be a bit sexualized, and he's looking at non-sexualized characters. I'm like, well, fuck you. Well, fuck you. We like Bayonetta.
it's a
You know
fun
what you're
game.
signing up for when you play Bayonetta.
I've never played it before, but
I like it.
videos for it. Yeah,
I love
It's
it.
fun,
people love the game.
and
You
I don't.
awesome.
I mean, yeah, she
And Bayonetta's
has
hot.
she has a nice body, but the game's fun. That's the main thing I cared about. It's fun.
She made one little comment about making babies, and that was sold it for me.
Oh gosh, Logan.
All right. We're
You weren't lying when you said it was gonna get juicy.
Damn right.
Racy.
we are
It's
very
getting hot in
sorry.
here.
No, okay, I was about to say it's getting hot in here, but it's literally getting hot in my room, dude. I'm not kidding. It's literally getting hot in my room. I'm starting to freaking sweat. I'm not kidding. It's not good. I have a fucking bedside fan on, blowing at me. My ceiling fan is on, and it's still getting hot in here. My hands are sweating from holding the damn controller. I don't know why. I keep
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
copyright. Not copyrighted.
Did
I was about
monetization
to say something after fucking Anthony said it's getting hot in here. He's like, so take off all your clothes.
Okay, do we have anything else we want to discuss?
Oh god! All right.
Yeah,
back to
doesn't just this
topic.
isn't the whole fact that there's an entire section about Mr. Rapist that it's just about his views.
Mr. Drunk Man, by the way.
It's just about his views. Like,
Oh, wait, Josh, the whole
why does
entire women's
why does
thing-
that matter?
The entire women's protagonist, the whole entire female protagonist thing. Did you mention Metroid? You know, Samus Aran, or however you pronounce her name?
Yeah,
Yeah. Another good one.
yeah.
But yeah.
So,
I mean,
dude,
that's the thing. That's
dude,
the thing. Like, I feel like oftentimes these people, they don't actually research this stuff beforehand. Whereas
It's
we
just like they
gamers,
assume they know
our
everything.
opinion actually does
Yeah.
matter because rather be through playing the games or looking at YouTube videos or whatever, or reading about the stuff, right? Even if it's on Wikipedia, which could be considered false. Still, I'd like to think we tend to do quite a bit of research.
like, dude, the fact that like you think there's so many things wrong with what he's saying, that the fact that he thinks that female leads hinder game sales is so laughably false, and the fact that you also like cite Anita Sarkeesian as an influence in your games, like, that destroys all credibility you have. Like, she is one
We're
of
gonna
the
call her Anita Sarkeesian.
like she is one of the like worst influencers you could possibly have for your games. She literally has no idea how the gaming industry actually works. She thinks like every single game, like the goal of the game is to like rape and maim women.
That's not at all.
That's not
True.
even remotely true,
Like,
especially since a lot
she-
of games don't have that at all.
She was complaining that like the main goal of Grand Theft Auto 5, for example, because you know
Well-
that's the lowest hanging fruit. No. The main goal of the game is to rape and maim women.
Even though I'm pretty sure.
Let me guys ask you a question.
Most, if not,
Did she pay for a prostitute?
She probably got ripped
I'd
off.
like to point out rather you're paying for the sex or you actually turn the woman on to where she'd want to get banged out by you. It's consensual either way.
Exactly.
This is just completely going off the
Legally,
rails.
it's consensual.
This whole thing's going off the rails. Like,
What
big
else
time
did you
right now.
expect, Nightmare?
I'm pretty sure.
Nightmare, it's us. What do you expect? Especially me and Logan. You hang out with us enough.
Yeah.
Actually, we haven't hung out in quite a while.
It's been a while.
Okay, hold on. There's more to our friend here, Mr. Drunk Man.
Mr. Rapist Drunk Man.
Does it have anything else to do with Sarkeesian?
No, but it has to do with his dumb beliefs. So he says, this article says here, Drunk Man is Jewish, although found he regularly writes about white, straight, Christian male characters, encouraging him to instead create more diverse characters. What do you... Hold on, what games has he worked on?
How
Let's
the
see here.
fuck does that work?
Let's see here. What games has he worked on? Let's see. So he's worked on Jack 3, Jack X, Uncharted, What Remains of Edith Finch, Okay. I've played the Jack games, all of them. I've also played all of the Uncharted games. I don't think it's once mentioned what their religious beliefs are.
Nope.
So what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Especially since games like those have no place for religious beliefs.
No.
Like, what the fuck are you talking
And The
about?
Last
Like,
of Us
any
is, and The
diversity?
Last of Us, given the way The Last of Us works, it's definitely no place for religion.
Yeah. There is no religion left. In that
I mean,
world.
to be fair, if you're living in, you'd actually expect, to be fair, if you're living in like a zombie apocalypse-ridden world, you kind of expect religion to be thrown out the window. Of course, there's still going to be religion, but it's going to be few and far between. It's going to be as if like God doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
It's survival of the fittest.
Well, my main point
It's based on
is,
survival. It's not based on religion.
what does the religion have to do with the game?
What does it have to do with the plot? What
Right.
does it do with the story?
You know,
Like, there are some games where it tackles those things. Like, even some games have, like, a in-world religion. Like, the game creates their own religion. Like, for example, Assassin's Creed, they sort of have this religion within the creed that, you know, everything is permitted, for example. Nothing is true, everything is permitted. That's very much a, like, religious type of outlook on it. But
Or Grand Theft Auto, Kiflam.
even though
I just felt like bringing
that was
fucking cults.
that was very optional, yeah. Cults.
It was optional,
fucking-
but like Grand Theft Auto has been known to have a religion here and there.
Like,
that aren't even real.
I find the idea of having like people in a cult as villains interesting. I'm totally open to that, but the fact that they have to express that
that they're
there were
homophobic
certain-
Christians.
Homophobic Christian.
Yeah.
right, it's just like
Yeah.
I've never heard of such a thing.
I never
ever
heard
in my
that
life.
either. I don't think I've
Ne-
ever heard
I don't
that.
think
I mean,
they've
I'm,
ever
and I mean, I'm sorry.
existed,
Even if,
for
and I mean, I'm
one.
sorry. Even if they are like homophobic Christians, does that I get that it's the end of the world, but does that necessarily mean that they can just go around trying to kill people like that? And what are the odds
Doesn't
of
that
even
go
finding
against?
someone
Doesn't
like
that go?
in the first
Doesn't that go
place?
against the beliefs alone? I feel like
Exactly. I mean,
they're
here's the
like
thing.
they're very hypocritical of their own religion.
They're very messed
Exactly.
up
I mean,
in
here's
the
the
head,
thing. Here's the thing. Morality-wise, even if it is something, even if it is like you could say homosexuality is bad, but if you go around just killing people because they're homosexual, that in and of itself is bad.
yeah,
worse.
I've never heard of Christians going around killing homosexuals.
Because
So
they're gay. It's like if a Christian's gonna kill someone, it'd be better off if it's actually out of self-defense or something like that, because then it's justified. If it's just because of their own beliefs, then
Yeah, that's fucked
I'm
up.
sorry, it's unjustified.
yeah.
That's
There
very
is the
fucked up.
trend of
And
other
you need-
Christians like not liking the LGBTQ community. Hence the phrase "God hates fags." That's a trend like here and there. But to have
Please
the
note,
main
please
villains
note, people.
focus
Anybody
on-
offend? We've probably already used plenty of words people are offended by. But anybody watching this that are offended by that word, please note he wasn't using it in a personal matter.
We're just trying to explain
Where-
the issue.
we're-
That's not-
we're
Explain
trying to
how we're trying to explain how that like
Yeah, we're just
how
trying to
hypocritical
explain a little
people
something.
are
Give you,
about their
give you,
religion.
make a point.
Yeah.
So
We're not trying to
that's
offend or anyone. We're just trying to make some points here to explain.
That's neither-
I love
that are
it.
going on with this.
that's
game.
that's
neither
neither
here nor
here.
there.
Yeah, that's neither here or there. Like I said, my
Yeah.
point is, like, what does this have to do with the context of the story that we have being in a zombie apocalypse?
Why does that?
That's
matter?
my issue.
What does it have to do with anything? The fact that Ellie
Right.
is probably the only person
That's-
in the world that can actually produce a cure. Because
That's my
of her
biggest
immunity.
question is, why does that matter? That's my question, right?
That's another thing. Wait, that reminds me. What I just said right there. Why throw out the idea of like maybe the world getting a second chance at a cure using Ellie's immunity to the cordyceps brain infection? Why throw that out the window and just possibly kill her or whatever? Why do that?
Oh gosh, you know what I just
Like, grow
realized?
up and she's like the only fucking cure.
Yeah, you know what I just realized?
Supposedly the only cure. Yeah.
The fact that, like,
Someone else.
the game is centered around people trying to kill Ellie is such a plot hole. Like, can't she just show everyone her bite mark and be like, look, I'm not infected? And if you don't believe me, put me in isolation, and I won't turn. I'm immune. Like, the fact that people are trying to kill her is a plot hole.
And it kind of doesn't make sense in its own.
I mean, I know. I mean, you could say they don't know about her thing, but I mean, like you said, she could just show them, like, hey,
Well,
yo,
I mean, to be fair, most people wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, not everyone.
But
probably
still, it's like, and
She
they
could
probably
just
think
prove it
like,
to 'em.
and they probably think like, say they have her restrained or something, and then they see the bite, they'd probably think like, that's probably recent. Let's kill her. But I
we
mean,
gotta kill her. She's
in
gonna
the end.
turn.
But I mean, in the end, I imagine like Abby was probably well aware of like Ellie being immune.
Oh yeah, because she.
So why kill?
Probably
So
learned the
even if it
information.
is, even if it is for revenge of her killing your people, why try and get revenge in the first place when in reality,
Yeah, like,
this
if
could be
you're...
a chance to save the world?
Abby is the daughter of one of the Fireflies. Why wouldn't you do whatever it takes to ensure Ellie's survival to continue your parents' work?
Especially considering the fact that Ellie had literally nothing to do with. Ellie more or less had nothing to do with their deaths. Aside from the fact that Joel saw her as a daughter and just wanted to save her from getting killed, because producing the cure would have killed her.
Oh gosh. I feel like we could write a much better story than the actual people that created the story. It's so ridiculous.
Wow! Okay, let's go take over Naughty Dog right now.
Let's
go do it. Let's go.
Naughty Dog, we're coming for you.
And the difference is we won't withhold paychecks.
We'll do this Last of Us style.
And we won't be.
We won't withhold paychecks. No, we won't. We won't. We'll become the heads of this juggernaut of a company, and we will actually. And for that,
we'll be
we'll
fair.
increase their pay.
We'll be fair.
Speaking of their pay, I have one last article to go over which dives into the pay dispute situation a little bit deeper. So this is supposedly the main reason revealed why the disgruntled employee leaked The Last of Us 2. So this person on Reddit says, everyone please read and repost this on Reddit and Twitter. A source that works, there's some typos in this, I'm trying to correct it as I read. A source that works at Naughty Dog revealed recently why the leaks happened. The reason was indeed a pay dispute, but that is not the whole story. Hundreds of furloughed staff had approached Naughty Dog to ask for an advance of the post-release bonus they are contractually obligated to receive. A common industry practice is to underpay workers during production and promise them huge bonus 6 months after the game's release. The better the game sells, the higher the bonus. Some employees had already made plans for this bonus, such as planning a wedding, buying a house, sending kids to college, etc. Damn, that's a really good bonus. Holy shit. Anyway.
Yeah, that is indeed a very good bonus.
When the game was delayed indefinitely, all of those plans went out the window. Some employees were hoping to use their bonus to weather the coronavirus storm and provide for their families. Naughty Dog flat out refused the request to advance them even a portion of their future bonus. The insider says the employee was told that his contract stated he would be paid out 6 months after the game released, or not at all. The employee was threatened with termination for making the request. Wow. The studio was worried more employees would demand their bonuses now if they gave this one employee his bonus early. To add insult to injury, senior staff, including Neil Drunkman, asked and received their bonuses early. This pissed off the majority of employees at Naughty Dog. Holy shit.
We're so in place. Justice, alright, we gotta make plans right now. We are.
Yeah, we need to make plans.
Alright,
we're invading. We're invading.
We're totally.
We're gonna Shao Kahn this shit. We're invading.
Article continues. The leaks were a way of forcing the studio. So the leaks were a way of forcing the studio to release the game sooner than later. That's the point I was going to bring up earlier, is the reason why we have a release date now of June 19th is because the leaks came out, it forced Naughty Dog's hands. The leaker is risking career and financial ruin so that his fellow abused workers can get their piece of the pie a lot sooner. Wow.
Damn.
So in other words,
Studio
one for the team, and rightfully so.
Yeah, Studio Rumor put the expected release
Respect.
date around the holidays before the leaks. This means that the staff wouldn't receive their bonuses until May 2021.
I'd be suing.
Isn't
I
that
would
against their
What?
contract?
May 2020.
Holy fuck.
He has to wait until next
I
year.
would probably get the best lawyers
Hi,
possible
Chris
to
Hansen,
sue.
can you get the fuck on here?
Chris
Chris
Hansen.
Hansen. Chris
I am
Hansen.
speechless.
Anthony, I feel like you wouldn't even need the best lawyers possible unless you were Naughty Dog. Unless you were the Naughty Dog themselves.
So he has
And even then, I feel like they would
no.
win a lawsuit.
wait until next year.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
What?
That already goes against their contracts.
Yeah.
Oh my.
They
And
broke
that
the
is
contract.
illegal.
It's illegal to break a contract like that, so...
Oh my God! Seriously, someone needs to call the police on these guys. I'm not kidding.
The executives...
Chris Hansen, let's fucking do this shit.
The executives got their bonuses before the employees?
Now that should be the other way around.
What kind of fucked up shit is that?
Or should be getting
Somebody's-
a higher paycheck, but the employees should be getting the bonus first.
Holy shit.
Somebody
Exactly.
needs to get arrested right now.
Exactly. I mean, I'm
Seriously.
certain. I mean, I'm certain
Oh my
even a
gosh.
low-ranking person in a video game company is that actually helps with the game is actually making pretty good money. But compared to people above his pay grade, they're making dog food. They're making fucking peanuts. They should be getting the bonus.
I love this comment. What an absolute clusterfuck. It's sad and infuriating. I'm sad that such a cool apocalyptic premise has been ruined. I'm sad that these developers are exploited and suffering. I'm infuriated to see that these shitty woke senior staffers are greedy and out of touch with the world. They don't practice what they preach. They just parrot a flawed ideology, piss people off, and abuse those working for them.
Damn.
Yo, amen to whoever.
Couldn't have been any more true
And again,
words
we're
said.
talking about Naughty Dog here. You wouldn't actually expect this from them. 'Cause again, they're like top. They're like one of the top tier video game makers
They were.
today.
They were.
Last of Us 2, they're definitely not going to be.
Not anymore.
No, they're definitely not. No, they're definitely losing customers right now as we speak.
They're not going to be. After
I'd say since like October or so, whenever it was, when 70% of the staff left, Naughty Dog was done.
But it happens to a lot of game
And they're
companies,
still
man.
defending themselves.
Which
They
sucks,
do realize they're just.
but-
They do realize that unless they humble up and admit they're wrong, they're gonna drive themselves to bankruptcy.
Yeah,
right?
they're not
Yeah.
keeping it professional at this part. They're making it more and more personal by the day. Like
Right.
more they make
More
up,
about
they
what-
they try to make up more and more excuses for all these complaints and stuff, and they're
They
saying
make it about them and what they want, and
An excuse here and
They
there
take what
is
they
all
want.
is all well and good. I mean, well, not good, but still. Whenever we're talking about stuff on this level, it's fully unacceptable.
they take what they want and give nothing back. That's basically the gist of it here.
Man.
Oh Lord, giveth and we taketh away.
Can you imagine working in an
Straight up.
environment like... Holy fuck, man.
I would. That'd be the most miserable job in ever.
I just
My
want to take a
God,
baseball
they're-
bat and just
they're
smash
fucking-
up the executive's desk.
Yeah,
My God, dude, they're
Lucille.
fucking-
Where's my Lucille?
I would have honestly, like, called the
Smash it,
police or
dude.
something, because, like...
Well, yeah, I was saying like. We
I want
need
to
straight
pull.
up.
I want to pull that one scene from fucking Chanel Compton where Ice Cube just beats the shit out of that guy's office.
So,
I'm gonna go invent the Lance. I'm gonna go invent the Mark II Lancer from Gears of War. Go to the Naughty Dog and start chainsawing people.
Yo,
and shoot them.
we're chainsawing it up, man. Chainsaw
Yeah,
the
just-
doors.
I just want to smash shit. You legit want to saw people in half.
I do. I'm
So-
pissed.
again, I don't condone the idea of leaking things, but given everything we just read, honest question, do you guys think that this developer that leaked this footage is in the wrong?
No,
absolutely
Well,
not.
that's it.
he is not in the wrong at all.
He's
He did
telling
everybody a favor.
He's telling the truth that we should know.
With everything that has been thrown on the laid out on that on the table for us, everything we've been given.
In fact, you know
From-
what?
it's-
I'd say he even get. In
Yeah.
fact, you know what? The people that told him that, the people that are saying that he's risking his job and everything, like the people that are his bosses and everything, I'd say he's doing them a favor.
Do it. nerderotic.com.
Back from his corn dog.
Yeah, John made it back. He made it back.
I was trying to start while John decided to walk away at the starting of the
Go
show to get a corn dog.
Gotta get my corn dogs.
I gotta get my corn dog. So
Hungry.
all right, so let's go around the horn here. Let's start out with the man who says he's got a movie blog, but I don't know if I believe him. But I did watch your video today about Release the Snyder Cut. His name is Odin. What's up, Odin?
Hey everybody, how's it going? I've actually been watching movies recently, so
That's good.
getting there.
Since you have a
slowly but
movie
surely.
blog. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I just finished actually this week the Ip Man trilogy. I know there's a fourth one out there, but I had the Ip Man trilogy set, and it was very good martial arts.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see something good.
Glad everyone's so excited about the Ip Man trilogy here.
I'm excited. I'm just not showing.
I peed.
What?
He said he peed a little bit.
I
Oh.
peed.
I see what you did there.
Next we have he's from the UK. You know him, you love him. He makes 1 minute and 30-second videos. His name is Az from Heel versus Babyface. What's up, man?
Hail, everybody. How you doing? I'm good. I'm really good. Looking forward to tonight. Some great topics to discuss tonight.
Oh, most
I am
definitely.
a walking podcast machine at the moment. So let's keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you even bothered stopping to live stream. You should have just jumped on one of your own
Yeah.
and then just gone right up to this one and then start one after. You know, the guy is
I needed a poo.
well, hey, and you know, the world thanks you for putting it in a toilet. San Francisco cannot do that. And then both of you guys, both of you guys have been on fire the last couple weeks. Az and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, congratulations with all the success of your channel. Thanks to Naughty Dog being idiots, but you're also good.
Thanks
What's
to the
up,
chat.
Jeremy?
Thanks to these people here.
Yes,
In the
yes.
chat.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy few weeks. Geeks and Gamers is doing better than it's ever been. I mean, with the website getting really close, we finally got this issue fixed with the memberships. So we're definitely we're on the home stretch now to launch the website. The main channel has been killing it. Gaming with Geeks got monetized and during while we had a copyright strike. So fuck you, Naughty Dog. You know, Park Hoppin' is about to be monetized soon, thanks to Drunk 3PO and Tugs for all their hard work. And Twitch, our Twitch channel, with No Deer People, has been absolutely killing it recently. So thank you to everybody that's been supportive. Really, and really, this all came down to John Trent wrote an article about Geeks and Gamers, and that's what made everything happen. Like, it just blew up across the board, all because of John Trent. So he just mentioned us. He just mentioned us one time, and that was it. That's all it took. So
Oh.
So you got spoilers for Last of Us 2 playing in the background there.
yeah, I was being subtle about that. I don't want to get the channel struck or anything like that by playing Last of Us 2 DLC behind me. So good stuff though. Beware
Yes.
the deer. Beware the deer.
Oh dear.
And then we have our special guest. We got two tonight after Odin has his bedtime. But we have John F. Trent, the future Pulitzer Prize winner from Bounding into Comics, the oasis of in the soulless desert that is the Access Media. What's up, man?
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I actually just got off a live stream. We're doing something new on our channel. We're doing this anime rewind. We're reviewing Mobile Fighter G Gundam. Started with episode 1 last week, and we just did episode 2. So we're having fun watching that and talking about that, and that's always fun. We do that at 4 on Fridays. So website's going strong. I had fun writing this Snyder Cut article where everyone else is whining and moaning and complaining and hating on people because Warner Brothers decided to make something that people have wanted and said they've wanted for 5 years now. So, and having some fun doing some writing. Star Wars is being stupid like always. So, yeah.
I think we can constantly count on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, really, thank you, Kathleen Kennedy, for being so incompetent and giving us so much mileage. I do really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a crazy week with Batwoman, and The Last of Us 2 is still doing their stupid crap. But thanks again. That's great. And God, it's hard to I got the nerdrotic dogs barking in the background right now. But yeah, this release, okay, somebody's gonna have to explain to me what's the motivation behind like being so against the Snyder Cut? It's obvious from the Access Media. They hate the fans. We know that. But like from other YouTubers, like, is it just because I don't know. I've never you can hate the movie, but who cares if it comes out or not?
Yeah, I think it all can, and check the private chat while I'm answering this. But so I think it just comes down to the fan aspect of it. I mean, I've never been. I could care less about the Snyder Cut, and
of course I did. Of course I did.
But I could care less about the Snyder Cut. I've always said that. I don't like these movies. I think they're pure dog shit. But I've recently started paying attention to how the Access Media, the Blue Checkmark Brigade, has responded to the Snyder Cut, and it's made me far more supportive of this movement because it's such an anti-fan movement. They really hate when fans get any type of say-so. They hated Sonic. You know, they couldn't stand Sonic because of what happened, and they've been very much against Snyder, and they don't like Snyder. They treat Snyder like he's an outsider to Hollywood, and they are just been so dead set on it. My video where I responded to the Snyder Cut, and I talked about how this is a win for fans, yada, 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 and I featured a couple of tweets from Blue Check Marks. One of them, Jeremy Conrad, who runs a Marvel fan site, and he had a tweet talking about point blank saying that the Snyder Cut was created by two trolls on Twitter, and it did not exist. I featured that tweet, and then I showed two screen caps of Jeremy Conrad, who blocked me on Twitter last year, and Peter Soretta from Slash Films, who blocked me. All I did is show that. I got privacy complaints on those videos. I showed your public Twitter, and you're verified. You are public. And they tried to hit me with privacy complaints. These people are insane. It's insanity. So I mean, it's just it's a crazy situation. But anything that is a support of fandom, I'm 100% behind it. So even if I don't care about the Snyder movies, I'm in full support of the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, same here. I feel the same way. I'm different to the movie. I'll watch it. I'm excited to see it, but Justice League wasn't good. Batman vs. Superman wasn't good. It had good moments, but I'm happy for, like you said, any fan win, and they hate it. And listen, the one thing, we can't say the Phantom Menace was like victorious. All right. The Luke Skywalker was eviscerated. It's weird, the parallels between Star Trek and Star Wars right now, because we're getting admissions that, hey, we deconstructed Luke Skywalker, and that might have been a bad thing. People might actually want inspirational heroes. Maybe they're over this anti-hero stuff for a little while, or maybe you don't focus on the anti-hero. And then, of course, we have CBS coming out and straight up admitting that they set out to put Picard in his place. That was the whole point of the season. A funny thing happened. Everybody hated it. It was so strange, so odd. But yeah, and with the Snyder Cut, the Access Media is losing. They're absolutely losing. They have been losing their influence over, the last couple of years now. And the Phantom Menace, that's the one thing the Phantom Menace did win. They beat the shit out of the Access Media. And they, like, every day we win with that. And that's great. That's an enjoyable thing. I'll take that. It'd be nicer to have Luke Skywalker with his balls, but that's not going to happen. So we take what we can. We take what we can.
The final trilogy doesn't count.
No.
Even they've admitted that much. They've said
fanfic.
Canon is fake anyway. It's all fake anyway. What's canon?
Yep.
So they just made some poor fanfic, and maybe one day we'll get the proper final trilogy.
Well, they're rewriting the original trilogy, so good luck with that.
So it'll be all fan fiction soon.
Yep.
Yeah. They removed Riken from the Battle of Hoth. He's no longer there, and Leia has been promoted to general.
Nice.
What?
I guess they promoted her in some comic back in 2018, And then in their Forces of Awakens, like celebrating Empire.
Oh my god! I
Strikes Back.
thought you were taking a piss.
No, he's being for real.
No, this is legit. They shared this video on YouTube and Twitter yesterday. For what is it? I forget. They have some name for it. It's aimed for their kid. It's on their Star Wars Kids YouTube, but they remove Riken, and Leia is called a general, and she's the one who's marshaling everyone on Hoth and giving all the orders now. Yeah.
What?
So is that the one where Luke looks like a girl when he's got makeup and eyeliner and
They have that character there.
This is the first time hearing this.
We got it.
I watched Empire yesterday.
We got it up on Bounding. I think it's the top story right now on the page. But yeah, I mean, if you watch the actual Battle of Hoth, they redo a lot of it in like a little 1.5-minute clip.
What the?
Oh, that I didn't watch that. Fuck them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they've been doing this for ever since they've been doing it. Forces of Destiny is I think is what it's called.
Forces of Destiny is what it's called. This is where they made Leia smacking Luke around. You know,
they changed their trip to Alderaan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's horrible.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, part 1 of 4. So just imagine what the next 3 parts are going to be.
2 transports versus a Star Destroyer. Dude, I'm not surprised. They're going to remake the original trilogy. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. It will happen in our lifetimes. It'll happen within the next 10 years.
Oh, it's also another Han shot first moment. So in Empire, he like drops the little mini cannon and it starts blowing away the stormtroopers as they're trying to stop them. Well, in the short, the stormtroopers have set up their mini cannon and are shooting at the Millennium Falcon before he deploys the mini gun from the Falcon. Yeah. So yeah, it's just changing the battles too.
Can't have someone shooting first. Yeah.
I'm just so I mean, and look, wasn't there something about what was this Luke Skywalker news that broke a few days ago, John? What was that?
So that was a little old. It's from a book from 2018, but we just caught wind of it in the the book is called Alphabet Squadron, if you can believe that. That's what they titled it. And in Alphabet Squadron, there's a character I don't remember. I can't really remember their name right now off the top of my head. Karen works. Yeah, she. So this Karen character basically says that Luke Skywalker's heroics during the Battle of Yavin mean nothing, and the real hero of the rebellion is Jyn Erso.
Jesus. See, I mean, I'm so out of touch with Star Wars at this point. I mean, I heard these stories going around, and I just don't even. I mean, I will talk about stuff moving forward, but I'm just so out of touch with Star Wars at the moment, man.
It's called
so
No,
bad.
you're not the one who's out of touch, Jeremy.
No, you know what I'm
no,
saying.
no.
Yeah. I just don't care to even cover this stuff anymore because it's just so bad. Star Wars is so fucking bad right now. And I've even lost my passion to be angry for it. I just don't care.
That's apathy. There you go. Welcome to apathy. Have a nice.
I will
have a
say
nice time not giving a shit about anything.
They had a really good. So that last episode of the Clone Wars, we ran your review on it.
Yeah.
And put up on the site. Really good review. If you haven't watched it, check it out on Jeremy's channel. Definitely recommend it. But Maul gives this like fantastic speech, and it's just basically like it should be like the speech that people. It's basically a speech that we're giving to Star Wars.
Yes. Yes.
And Maul just says like everything that we've been saying about Star Wars. It's actually like it's kind of funny if you think about it.
It is, and that was such good dialogue. The stakes were there. The character development was there. The honor to even little things like when Ahsoka said to Maul, like, "You're lucky Anakin's not here." I'm like, holy shit. Did they just give respect to a straight white male character? You know what I mean? Like, because that doesn't have. You could tell Kathleen Kennedy is nowhere involved in the creative process of that shit. There is no way. Like, Ahsoka's there fighting Maul, and Maul obviously wasn't on top of his game. And Ahsoka just says, like, "You're lucky Anakin's not here because he would have then took care of you." And I'm like, whoa. It's just so drastically different from what the overarching theme of Star Wars is right now. It's crazy. So,
and that theme is the future is female. And they're
yes,
gonna
queen. Yes, queen.
That might be the only thing too that Kathleen had any input on is the directors for the show. And I would not be surprised if the reason why Bryce Dallas Howard got in there was because she probably is friends with Ron Howard. And so I would not be surprised at all if
Are you
that's
talking about the Mandalorian?
Mandalorian, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I started going from Clone Wars to Mandalorian, but still.
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard admitted that.
Yeah, she said
She said in
she
an
straight up
interview
said
that
I
she
got the job because of
her
nepotism.
dad,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
She totally admitted that.
Yep.
Thank you for your
This
honesty.
episode was fantastic. Great direction.
Star Wars! Star Wars!
That's
Karen,
the one where there was no one
where
in the
is my
AT-AT, right?
lightsaber?
Or the ATST? There was no one in the ATST, even though it was shooting everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took a much better storyline that is Seven Samurai and turned it. Oh, gosh.
ATST, ATST.
Mm.
Good old red letter media.
Oh, they killed Picard. That was so beautiful what they did to Picard. And they can get away with stuff that normal YouTubers cannot. I mean, they pretty much benefited completely from the thing that shall not be named because every single one of our videos was going into one of theirs. But
Absolutely.
they can say stuff, and I mean, they were saying a bunch of stuff that we won't even talk about in our videos, and they're fine. Yeah, they get 1 million views in a day, and they deserved it. It was great. It was freaking. And I love that it came out right after the announcement of Strange New Worlds. And I know Alex Kurtzman was all, we're on an upswing now. We got the fandom back. And then Red Letter Media drops a bomb on him. Fuck those guys. That was great. Yeah. So let's go to, okay, this kind of connects. All right. So Star Wars completely out of touch. Access Media still backs them up. I don't know, anytime Jeremy or somebody trips up and slightly criticizes the Clone Wars, it stirs up a whole other group of people that you got it wrong. No, we have every right to be wary of Disney because Disney has earned it, earned it. But the Access Media has certainly helped them. They have been their willing ally throughout all this. And what did they get? They didn't even get a parting gift. They didn't get shit. So what do they do? We got the usual suspects here. Collider and Vulture attacking fans for wanting to see a Snyder cut. And again, I think this is all made up crap. I don't know how you could actually be upset. It has to be the political lines. I don't know why they're so lockstep against this. Who gives a shit, really?
Oh, the Vulture guy, outright says it. His first line is he says Donald Trump and Brexit, and then he goes in and admits that it's all about identity politics. He's upfront about it.
Mm-hmm.
He does not shy away from why he's writing the article at all.
Yeah, I did my video on this one today, and let me just say, John, mwah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, I'll have to watch it. I've been really busy, so I haven't been able to really watch anything yet today. So I'm a little behind. I know we want to do. I know you mentioned Star Trek earlier, but I saw Doomcock's video on that with Picard, and we got something cooking on that too. So
yeah, and I do too.
I'm sure we'll talk about that later.
But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that later because I want to hear what everybody has to think about, just deliberately coming out and saying, yeah, we deconstructed this character. So, I mean, I admire, again, their honesty is great. They came out and said, yes, we write things into our scripts to piss off fans. So I could make an argument, I think you could too, John, and I think Doomcock did, and Az can, that Picard was a giant troll. The whole fucking thing. Not just baked into the script. The entire show was a middle finger to the fans.
Well, especially after they're trying to market Stranger New Worlds the way they are. After Chabon's comments, he basically said the opposite of everything that they're saying for the Stranger New Worlds now. He's like, we won't see episodic. We won't see optimism. It's done. People don't want that anymore. And then a month later, optimism, episodic.
Right? Said the
Straight
light.
white men.
Right? I mean, exactly. Yeah, it goes against everything they said they weren't going to do when they started it. And so that's why it's CBS admitting failure. It absolutely is CBS admitting failure. But yeah, multiple media outlets, including Screen Rant, Collider, and Vulture, attacked fans following Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill's. And is it Cavill?
Dude, I always get it wrong.
I do
know,
too.
As tell us, you're the resident Brit.
Yeah.
Tell us about what? Sorry, I'm paying attention to the chat.
Yeah, he's in the chat, so
How do you say Superman's name?
How do you say Henry's last name? Is it Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
Cavill.
I say
Okay.
Cavill.
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 Okay.
The announcement
I'd
that.
like to posh it up from time to time and go Henry Cavill.
Oh. Well, that's what
Just
I.
like Ryan Cannell.
But it's Henry Cavill.
It is. Is the real Ryan Cannell out there from Louisiana or something like that? That cracks me up.
Now, hang on. Mikey Woods has asked me, why don't I watch the Clone Wars and review it? We literally just got done talking about that John put my review of the Clone Wars on Founding in the Comics. And he said for people to go watch it. So I don't know why you're asking that question. So anyway, my bad. Go ahead.
Mikey. What's up, Mikey? We saw Mikey in New York. We had
he's a
dinner
great
with
guy.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Announcement that Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League will be arriving on HBO Max in 2021. And according to Ryan Cannell, not from Louisiana, it's 75% of the movie wasn't his, of the Joss Whedon Justice League. 75% had be reshot. Does that sound right, everybody?
I've heard that rumor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That from the trades.
The cinematographer apparently went in an interview and said that only about 10% of what he shot with Zack Snyder made it onto the screen. Though, of course, I think that's him throwing out a number. So who knows what the actual percentage actually is. The main point is that the vast majority of the film was handled directly by Joss Whedon and not by Zack Snyder.
Yeah, well, I think that, Snyder's made that apparent with everything he shared. There's tons of stuff that he's shared. And that's probably just a little bit. It's like the top of the iceberg.
But I was told by the experts on YouTube, that you can't reshoot 75% of a movie, especially when it came to the Fall of Skywalker. I was told that just was impossible. That couldn't
happen. What about
happen.
the 6 endings, though? The 6 endings that they had?
Yeah, I was told that was impossible. I was told all of this was impossible because the sources weren't in Los Angeles. Right, Jeremy?
I think another problem with the Snyder Cut situations is it opens up so many problems, so many demands from fans, people that they hate. Release the Lord and Miller cut, release the Ayer cut, release potentially the JJ cut that's out there of Rise of Skywalker, which I still think would be shitty. But
I want the 5 cut from Ghostbusters, man. That's what I want. That's what I really want right now.
3.5 hours.
Fantastic 4 cut.
I want the Colin Trevorrow cut. So I want them to pull everybody back in, give him 50, 60, 75 million dollars, and let's get the Trevorrow cut. Did you guys see Jeremy Johns do a review of what the Trevorrow cut would have been? He did a full review of his channel on everything. He treated it like he was reviewing the movie. And it was fantastic. That movie would have been so much better than what we got. It may not have been a great Star Wars movie because look what he was dealing with, but it still would have been far better than that shit we got. But yeah, this is the problem though, is, it does give so much credibility to so many other things that we've heard about. Like there's a cut of this, there's a cut of that. It's a better version for the fans. And they hate that. And I love that. Yes, the George Lucas cut.
They hate that there might be something that people get a little bit of enjoyment about.
Exactly, just like what Father
That's
said.
what they hate. They don't care that there's a Snyder cut. They don't care that there's an Ayer cut or whatever. They're not bothered. They're bothered that there are people who are excited to see it, whether it's going to be good or not. Completely irrelevant. They just want to piss over those people's enjoyment. They want them to be as miserable as they are. They want them to be as vacuous and destructive as they are, because they can't sit in the sunshine. They have to constantly be in the rain.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say, as Father said, some of us want the butthole cut of Cats.
Amen.
Yes. Oh my God.
Did Father Christopher Miller say that?
I'm so glad it was Father Christopher Miller that said it.
Yeah.
Harry Bad. Just like a kitty cat. Just like Belle does when she's jumping on my shoulder on stream. Shows it all off. Stop it, Belle. Stop showing it off.
Oh man. So we got Vultures.
He's getting some money though. He's getting like 20 to 30 million to finish it off.
That's the Hollywood Reporter rumor, yeah.
Oh, good. He deserves it. He got screwed over. The guy got completely screwed over. And we're going to talk about the Ayer cut in a minute, because I just saw that on Twitter today. And how this connects with Disney is somebody tweeted out that, hey, how about an Ayer cut? And AT&T responded.
Yeah.
AT&T
Multiple times.
Yes. Could you imagine Disney? Could you see Disney doing that?
No, not at all. Not at all. And this is why Hollywood. Okay, I don't care. Again, you got two people right here. Me and Odin viciously hate these Snyder movies. Okay, but it's beyond that. We as fans have to support the Snyder Cut when it releases. We need to make this financially beneficial to HBO Max. We have to show that the fans are willing to back up something that is meant for them, because there's more to this. Like, there's more impact this can have. Again, it's not like with Sonic. All right, people went out and supported it. That didn't change the landscape of Hollywood, but it was a piece to the puzzle. You know what I mean? It was one of these pieces, and this is another piece to the puzzle. So this is why it's important. Yeah, Joker absolutely was a major piece to the puzzle. You know, and then you look at Ghostbusters 2016 and, you know, Terminator, Woke Fate, and Charlie's Angels, and the sequel trilogy, and how disastrous they've been. Fans are winning this battle. So that's why it's important to support the Snyder Cut when it releases.
I think the Snyder Cut, though, has slightly more implications than anything like the Ayer Cut or Ghostbusters or what the fuck ever. Because if the Snyder Cut is legitimately successful, I think this really validates...
hang on, they're saying I'm echoing. They're saying I'm echoing?
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't hear it.
It's saying that it really validates Henry Cavill's push to remain as Superman, and I think it would seriously shine a light on getting a sequel to Man of Steel.
Could you see
him showing up on that stream was pretty much confirmation that he's coming back as Superman.
More to this.
I really hope so.
How I took it,
or just supporting Zack's cut. Maybe he just believes more in Zack's cut.
Yeah.
But,
well, I think he was one of the few actors who didn't actually like tweet any of like the hashtag. What was it? Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. He never actually like got on social media and did that. But then he's the one who shows up on streams. I thought that was interesting.
I think it's more a friendship thing. I think it's more of a solidarity thing. He comes across as a real sound guy, does Henry Cavill.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And the fact that he's not on social media is a huge positive for him.
Yeah, I think he was just playing it smart. You know, I just, you know, he didn't want to. You don't want to piss off Warner Brothers, and maybe he knew what was going on behind the scenes too. Because it's clear with that new guy coming in. What was his name? The CEO who I think he talked. I mean, one of the first things he did was talk about the Snyder Cut when he came in. Whoever his name is, I think that got the ball rolling, which was great to see. It's great to see fans winning, and it's, you know, we win all the time, but we get it again against idiots like, you know, Screen Rant and Collider. And it's nice to see this one. We'll enjoy it because it will probably be short-lived, or, you know, Disney will do something to double and triple down, because they are not having this stuff, folks.
We have a bunch of people saying there's an echo.
Chat saying there's an echo.
There's not. I've just checked. I think you're being trolled.
Well, it went away.
And there's a lot of people, including Father and others.
It will probably be short-lived, or
so I'm not sure.
Disney will do something. I'm not hearing it. I'm listening to the feed, and I'm not hearing it. Having this stuff, folks.
Interesting. We have a bunch of people saying there's an echo.
They're being naughty people.
Don't you lie to me, people. Don't you lie.
Naughty people.
Well, it went away.
Don't you tag me in
They said it's coming in and out, but there's people in there that I know aren't trolling that are saying it. So.
I'm not hearing it.
Let's say Father wouldn't lie to me.
Well, you know, he might.
At least I don't think he would.
Just to get back at me for all the naughty words I've been saying over the past several months. So.
Several months. Yeah, just the last 5 minutes, Jeremy. Jesus Christ.
Still saying it's echoing.
No, I just said it too. Jesus Christ.
I haven't said anything. I don't think I've cursed yet, Father. So I think I should get some respect and maybe a prayer or two. Just saying.
Very entitled of you, Jeremy.
Very, very much so. You gotta,
entitled to pray.
I've got to keep that internet bad guy persona up. You know, Jeremy's this, Jeremy's that. Yes, I am. Yes, I fucking am. Oh, sorry, I cussed.
Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with you.
I will say, as a massive critic of those Snyder movies, I am hopeful that it's good, but I've already walked into this multiple times. I hope it's good, though. I don't know what direction Snyder's vision is going to be. I have no idea. in terms of like what arc are they going to go with? Like, because this is Superman returning, but like how much of it is, oh God, Superman Returns, please, never mind, unless it's Brandon Routh. But anyway, like how much of Whedon's vision, or how much of the version we saw is going to be part of this Snyder cut? Like, that's what I'm curious about,
Well, it's still going to have a problem because it was originally supposed to be 2 films and then they shortened it into 1. So we're going to get Darkseid at the end, right? And then what was that? I don't know if it was true or not. I saw something about the Atom possibly being talked about, or he wants to introduce a new character. Ryan was saying they still have to shoot the Martian Manhunter scene. So I think it's going to be significantly different. I don't think it'll look anything like it. You can absolutely tell what was Whedon in Justice League. I mean, I've been watching, I watched every episode of Buffy multiple times.
That general guy who's meant to be the Martian Manhunter, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're saying that the echo is from your feed, Gary. They think it's whatever you're watching in the chat.
The echo's gone. So they're like 7 seconds behind. So the echo's gone.
Are you trying to say that you know better than the customer, Gary?
No, I'm saying they're right.
What you're trying to say?
It's gone now. It's gone now. So we can stop talking about it.
Are we going to see Superman in the black suit?
Oh, yes. For sure. That's
absolutely 100%.
Yes.
100%.
I still
it was an integral part of his comeback with Schneider, was the fact that he was casting off the colors and he was putting on the black suit to mimic the resurrection of Superman from the comics. He puts on the black suit before he tackles the cyborg Superman. So yeah, 1,000% the black suit is going to be in this cut. 1,000%.
God, I wish I was more excited for the movie itself, but I am excited for the spectacle of it, I guess. With the Snyder cut.
Hey, Dan's.
We're already getting it.
I'm excited because it's going to be the best DC movie we get for the next 10 years until they get rid of Jar Jar Abrams. Sorry, but as long as that guy's there.
Hey, you're talking to somebody who likes Whedon's Justice League more than BVS or Man of Steel. They're all 3 shit movies.
No accounting for taste.
Yeah. Because Superman, outside of the horrific, CGI on his face, actually how Superman was in that movie was far more respectful to Superman, the character, than those other 2 movies. And that's why I don't hate it as bad as I hate those other 2 movies. It's not a good movie. It's a it's a terrible train wreck with 2 visions that should never, ever collide. But that's why I like it more than those other 2 movies.
Well, that shows you how out of touch. Hollywood's so goddamn out of touch. Like, let's get Joss Whedon to finish a Zack Snyder movie. What the fuck?
2 names that should not cross together.
I didn't even think
No,
of
but
that.
you know why? It's because he did Avengers, and they're just like, we need to be Marvel. Let's get Joss Whedon. He'll do an Avengers thingy, swingy.
No, that's how deep they look into this. Okay, so Batman is a prequel. The Batman is going to take place in the 90s. Captain Marvel took place in the 90s. You know why those 2 movies took place in the past? Because Wonder Woman, which copied Captain America, took place in the past, and it was a success. So these idiot producers go, hey, if we make superhero movies and we put them in the past, and we can get we can. So people who are like into the 90s and stuff, they'll love it. It'll be a hit. Just the same logic is going to go behind any rated R movie now that comes out in October that's a superhero movie that's grounded. Everybody's going to copy the Joker and go, if we just take a rated R movie and we release it in October, it should do as well as the Joker. That's how much they think about it. They don't think about story, who's in it, the character, if it's right. They don't give a shit about that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just like when the Dark Knight came out and was this huge success. I think it's been talked about with us before, but or maybe I think it's been talked about with John Flickinger. He mentions that like when that happened, all of a sudden every movie became the Dark something. That's what they thought. Oh my gosh, the Dark. That's why it made money, because of the name.
The Dark Knight. That's why Thor: The Dark World. What exactly had that?
These people are stupid.
Star Trek. Into Darkness.
Exactly.
What the fuck? And then all the posters all look like Inception. Yeah, that whole time it was a dark period.
When Inception came out, how many movies had the
French horn farts, as Razor Fist calls them? So the French horn farts. Yeah. So it looks like everything's working fine on the channel so far. I've been kind of worried about that because there's been some funkiness.
Super chats are
going
coming
on.
through.
They're coming through. I can see them.
Perfect.
Everything's working good. Knock on plywood here. But
Yeah.
Nando Soups, welcome to the Proto Molecule level. Jeff Green. This just in, new Lucasfilm remake. Remember Spaceballs? This one's called No Balls, starring Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. Thank you, Jeff Green.
Alan
Thank
Horn.
you. Alan Horn. Oh my God. So yeah, Warner Brothers responding to fans. Actually, I am more excited for the Ayer cut than I am for the Snyder cut. I don't know, man.
Really?
I love the first 15 minutes of Suicide Squad. Then it just falls off a cliff and turns into crap. But
I mean, yeah, Suicide Squad's not a good movie, but I did enjoy a lot of it, especially Harley Quinn.
and her Daisy
and I
Dukes.
enjoyed some of the chemistry with the
Toxic
characters.
white male.
Problematic.
That's very problematic, Jeremy.
He's still apologizing. Still apologizing.
Problematic.
I liked Captain Boomerang was pretty good in it too. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
actor too had been crap in every single thing he'd ever done, and then he's in that movie doing a fine job, and the movie sucks.
With his
He's an Aussie
accent.
playing an Aussie. That's why.
Exactly.
Playing his natural accent. Well, oh God, that would be with Cumberbatch. I think he'd be better with his accent too. I don't think he's very good as Doctor Strange. I think he's okay, but
Should have just had him British.
yeah,
It wouldn't have made any difference. Nobody would have cared. Just have his British accent. His American
guys are
accent.
always
Have a
stealing our
British Doctor
superheroes.
Strange.
No,
like
we
Scarlet
have
Witch.
we have to cast the right people for the job because it's the meritocracy, and you're just shit.
Well, isn't it funny that a lot of the white male leads in superhero films are Brits?
Yeah.
Like all of
Batman.
them now. So,
Yeah. Remember when Scarlet Witch had an accent and then it went away?
oh yeah, yeah,
Yep.
I remember.
Like Deanna Troy.
like Madonna.
Remember Netflix's upcoming remake of the Arthurian legend with a woman? No one's going to either, so don't worry about it.
Nah,
Are they really doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's with the chick from the Suicide Show.
I thought that they were doing it where it was from the Lady of the Lake's perspective, not.
Yeah, she's supposed to be Nemu. She plays Nemu, but she has the sword, and she's like the first king of England.
Oh, they're playing it that way. Okay, because at first I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to find out the origins of the Lady of the Lake, but if they're gonna turn it into, I don't know, why not? Have they ever done it before? I mean, at least it's new, right?
Do we care?
They did Fate Zero. Arthur is a woman
Really?
in the anime. Yeah, Fate Zero.
Interesting.
but
Her
that's
name is
anime.
Artoria.
That's my part of history. I
Yeah.
love that part of history. So I like those stories and legends and stuff. So I would be interested, but fair point. I don't think a lot of people would be interested.
No. And that's their problem is they don't think anybody would be interested either. That's why they do this instead of maybe doing a proper adaptation. But we have Excalibur from the early 80s. That's a great, perfect movie. John
That's got
Foreman's
Patrick
movie.
Stewart in it.
Yes, it does. One of the most overacted, the greatest overacting ever of him trying to pull out Excalibur from the stone is hilarious. It's great.
This is so off topic, but I have to tell you, the Babylon Bee just posted a headline: Biden, if you don't let me sniff your hair, you ain't a woman.
Yeah, he made some news today, didn't he?
It's literally trying to be like, I don't want to be president. I'm just going to say the most... He's doing a Trump. He's doing what Trump did before 2016. I'm just going to say the most outrageous shit so I don't get voted in. But I got voted in. So fuck it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to bring that up. It's so good. It's so good. I could not. Oh, retweeting that right now.
Yes.
So good.
So he makes it clear from the beginning, from his article, has nothing to actually do with the fandom, but is purely political. The second sentence references the Orange Man and Brexit, and he deems the Snyder Cut supporters as declass outside. Is it declasse? Come on.
I have no idea how to say
I
that.
don't know how to say that either. I
This
can't
has so
even
many
spell titles for my
random-
shown shows.
Yeah.
The class A.
You just got to learn to skip
Classic.
over the words you can't pronounce when you're reading articles like I do. That's
Well,
all. I just
dude.
skip these words over.
Oh, is that why your articles are the him? Thank you.
To be fair to Gary, I tried reading these same things, and this first guy, he is like, he must have had like a dictionary next to him saying, let me just put a bunch of fancy words in here to see if I can confuse people and make people think I'm smart.
Yep.
Yep, that's exactly what he did.
Declasse outsiders. He looks down his nose and sneers at people who want to see Zack Snyder's vision for Justice League. He writes, in retrospective, it was inevitable. It's like Brexit or Donald Trump or Thanos clinching of the presidency. First you hear that it happened, then, even if you wanted it to happen, you're shocked. He then bemoans. These people aren't supposed to be calling the shots. They're declasse outsiders, drunk on activist rage and viciously abusive towards their foes. Such people are destined to be at the fringe, not the hub of power. Oh!
He contradicts himself right there.
Wow.
Sorry, I'll cut you off.
No, he just wanted to put fringe and hub in a sentence together, and it didn't matter if it made sense. And he did contradict himself. But no, and this is was this the Vulture guy?
Yeah, this is the Vulture guy. His name is what? Abraham Reisman?
Freaks, man.
Stupid knobhead. That's what his name is.
We have to say his name is Reisman.
Deranged. Absolutely deranged.
Yeah. Yep. Loony. Mm-hmm.
Vulture and Vice were all supposed to be punk rock and
We're
edgy.
the ones that are meant to have the power, the press. We're the ones that are meant to say what you can watch and not watch.
How dare you? You're just bullies. You're so mean.
Who was the
Why
one?
aren't you watching our stuff? Why aren't you clicking on our stuff?
Why aren't you watching Batwoman? It's so good.
I love her so much.
Yeah, Az, are you sad that she's gone? Az?
Okay. Az? Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Is everyone okay? Hi.
Just as a reminder, the actual Justice League actors have all shown.
What did I miss?
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the 17 hours of live streaming he did before this. Have you slept? Just as a reminder, the actual Justice League actors have all shown their support for the Snyder Cut, including Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Ezra Miller, don't give a shit about him, Ray Fisher, and Henry Cavill. When he broadly generalizes about Snyder Cut fans, one has to assume he's also talking about the actors and Zack Snyder himself. They all campaigned for the Snyder Cut after all, but it's not happening. Campia said it wasn't happening. Collider said it wasn't happening. What are we going to do if things Campia says don't not happen? I think the world might come to an end.
Kind of a trend.
Did I fall asleep?
Aquaman's not going to make any money. December's a terrible time to come out. Makes $1 billion.
Yep.
It's like the things he makes these absolute definitive claims, and then he never retracts to own if he makes we all make mistakes, we all make prediction mistakes, but it's just like he just does not have any way to kind of it's the way he says it is he says it as definitive, and then once it actually not only happens but happens in the complete opposite of the way he said. I mean, because he said Aquaman was not going to make money in December. Absolutely, positively, this was a horrific decision to release Aquaman. It's not going to make money. And he just, to my knowledge, he has not really addressed this.
There's some great videos of cutting it together of him saying it a couple of times, and then all of a sudden it's like dun, 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 and then it's the box office receipts for Aquaman. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and just like what was it with the Snyder Cut, he's been out there saying it will not happen. It does not exist. And look, it does exist. It's being reaped. There's a lot that has to be done for this thing to be completed. So technically, it didn't exist in a finished
final
product.
form. Yeah.
And that's they're playing semantics with it now.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Oh well, I didn't no. You said it did not exist. It was not happening, and these people
they're lying.
their life, yada 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 yada. and you dismissed everybody now again, I've had plenty of arguments with Snyder fans, and I've said plenty of things, and I stand by everything I've said about Snyder fans in terms of their nuts. They will just interject Snyder nonsense into a conversation that has nothing to do with it whatsoever. They annoy the shit out of me, but that this is bigger than that. And he has been one of these blue check marks that has been on the side of the mainstream media and the access media, and just dismissing fans wanting to have a voice. And this is the thing, they couldn't really call the Snyder fans like the angry man babies in their basement per se, so they just dismissed them as like, something else, you know what I mean? And it's just like with the Star Wars stuff, how they dismiss fans that have problems with that. They are so anti-fandom, it is ridiculous. They are so pro-access media and anti-fandom. That's ultimately this comes down to, cut and dry.
Yeah. And that comes from how the creatives and a lot of the writers and a lot of the people who work in Hollywood feel. Not everyone, hashtag not everyone, but a lot. They just mirror that stuff. God damn. Reisman's politicization of the Snyder Cut movement continues when he declares supporters as partisans in a culture war revolving around identity politics. Somebody is. Reisman writes, the reason this conflagration what the fuck
yeah
the reason they conflated that's the word I know, and this has burned so bright, is that it came at an inflection point in a massive culture war and geekdom that the access media absolutely started. He then makes it clear that the culture war is about identity politics. Throughout the early 2010s, nerdy products ranging from video games and comic books to movies started to evince a greater degree of inclusion or for marginalized identities, both in the content and the behind the scenes. Marginalized. I hate that word, marginalized. So the writer of this article, just to remind you my view on it, it sees them as marginalized. I don't see anybody as marginalized. I don't. Maybe I'm just stupid, but that probably is an alt-right dog whistle. Just like customer service.
If you're calling the shots, you're not marginalized.
Yeah, there you go. Well, they're the system. He describes Snyder Cut fans as soldiers on the front lines of the battle against Disney-owned Marvel predominance and approach, as well as the ideas those things entail. No, DC hates Marvel. Yeah, of course. What is the Snyder Cut thing? I think you want to talk about conflation. I think they're mixing us up with mixing them up with the fandom menace. Reisman even has the gall to write that he has no evidence to support his claims about Snyder Cut fans, but his authority and the authority of his so-called geek writers make it so. Make it so. It's difficult to prove anything about decentralized movement in the inferior world of digital media, but geek writers can confidently report to you that many
a fucking movie, you fucking knobhead. That's all it is. It's just somebody who cut a movie. He got taken off the movie. Somebody else finished the fucking movie. Shut the fuck up, you prick.
Stop it, you toxic white male. You didn't even put point of privilege before you talk, so I'm not even gonna listen to you right now.
White privilege.
As that bravado is just such a boondoggle. Like, seriously. I have a list of fancy words up on my screen just so that I can, put you in your place.
Boondoggle. Oh, I got done in.
I think he's being a bit hyperbolic right now. So,
this pretentious cunt! I just want to punch him in his face.
Snyder Cut advocates are the same sorts of people who call our entertainment firms for forced diversity and capitulating to the social justice warriors. The end. That was fucking hard.
You are the social justice warrior, you dickhead. You can't call people that are saying forced diversity social justice warriors. You're the fucking social justice warrior for having marginalized fucking peoples. Hearing extra voices. Sorry, but fuck him in every arsehole he's got. Get him teamed up with Preston Poulter. Let them fuck a dildo together. Lick it clean, the fucking idiots. That is just self-aggrandizing bullshit.
Yep.
From a total totter.
Why would you have to remind me of that?
It's a cut of a fucking film. It's people dressed in pants and spandex. Shut the fuck up.
It's men and women in tights. Cosplayers got this thing started. That was lashing out against the fandom menace. The Snyder Cut people have nothing to do with that shit. Like zero. They got them mixed up in the freaking Harley Quinn movie or cartoon as well. So that's how, you know what? Know your fucking argument before you make it, dumbass. Put in all this. And this is why the Access Media got its ass kicked by the fandom menace. We are beating them in every single turn. They're losing clicks by the thousands. My God, what website was I on today? It was a once legitimate website. Oh, it's Variety. Variety looks like bleeding cool right now, John. I know you need ads too. I understand, but I went on Variety and I'm like, God damn, it looks like bleeding fucking cool now. They had ads everywhere. I was like, Jesus.
I think our ads are pretty spaced out.
Dude, they used to be like...
The reason why the Fandom Menace is kicking ass is because the Fandom Menace understands the difference between fantasy and fucking reality. That's why. Because they want this fucking fantasy for them to enjoy, for them to be taken away somewhere, for them to leave their mundane lives, or just go off somewhere in a realm of wonderment and fantasy. That's why these people are approaching fucking fandoms like they're reality. Star Wars is a reality. Superman, I think you'll find, is actually a reality, and it therefore needs to be based on a reality. We need the representation of... Stop! It's fantasy. It's escapism. Sometimes escapism isn't meant to cater for your real-world sensibilities. Fantasy is about expressing a certain thing that you are particularly interested in. It just so happens that there is a mass appeal when it comes to comics, when it comes to movies, when it comes to science fiction, when it comes to superheroes and stuff like that. There's a commonality. So that's when you put a bunch of birds of prey together and you put them in fucking bin liners and then just make them have an asinine plot written by a dumb prick. And then you say, hey guys, this is not for you. You don't do any money at the box office. That's why. Because there's no fantasy in the fantasy movie.
I think they do understand that the difference between fantasy and reality. I just don't think they care. I mean, this guy proves it. He wants to push his political agenda into the films, and that's why he's trying to do it. He's trying to propaganda.
Yeah, but it's just like no. You can't have your fantasy. You're not allowed your fantasy in your fantasy.
Yep,
but
I'm sorry. You must have your reality in your fantasy.
But you have to have our propaganda in your fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see a school teacher by day, YouTuber by night with a beard. Okay, I need representation on the screen as.
I know. How
don't I deserve it as? Don't I deserve love?
Because Mark Hamill is white, I completely identify him. We have the same hair color and eye color, so I know we're a hive mind. I know what he's thinking right now.
Also, shout out to the wife for bringing me some pasta down.
Nice.
That's pretty toxic
again, everybody.
Having women just bringing your food, how toxic of you.
So toxic.
So toxic.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, I did an interview with Cameron Pasha.
At the golf club.
I did an interview with Cameron Pasha.
Oh shit!
He's a screenwriter and a producer, Hollywood, and I'll be releasing that later. But in this interview, he says that when George Bush was president, him being a non-white dude who's a practicing Muslim, his career was better in Hollywood when Bush was president because Hollywood felt like they needed to weaponize him, whereas when Obama was president, his career took a hit. But he said, even though he's not a Trump supporter, when Trump got elected, his career immediately improved because of the type of storytelling that they wanted to tell in Hollywood. It is all based on what is going on with the political landscape within the country. This is just proven. If you're not paying attention to this shit, we can't help you. We're trying to educate you on this. It's pretty easy to understand, But this is what's going on. Hollywood is nothing but propaganda, generally speaking. Yes, we can find certain elements there that are really entertaining that doesn't have it, but generally speaking, it is all propaganda, and it's bullshit, and we're tired of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cameron's actually he teaches classes about how horrible The Last Jedi is.
Good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. He talks about that in the video. It's fantastic.
Oh, remember how this started out? It started out with, a few years back, it wasn't happening. There's no agenda or politics in anything. And then you're a racist, then you're a Nazi, you're a phobe, whatever. They went through the myriad of that. Then they just didn't want to talk about it. And now it's just there.
You're harassing the actors off social media.
Oh, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. These scary fans. Yeah, scary fans. We're going to talk about that as well.
Welcome to new Twitter. Well, there's a new Twitter for you right there.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, Twitter is like, I think it's kind of done as a platform. I mean, is your tweet going to get any interaction?
Right, this is what I just saw hit my news feed right here. Look at this. Pretty interesting how I select few people. I did a screen share. You're invited to try a new feature. We've selected a small group of people to try out our new feature. Starting today, when you can post a tweet, you'll be able to choose who can reply and join your conversation.
Wow.
And you see who's utilizing it the most? Naughty Dog and Neil Cuckman.
Mm-hmm.
So the question has to be asked, gentlemen. Did Twitter just pull a Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
100%.
much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Now, Odin mentioned that before the show, and it's like, it's just unbelievable, but it's true. Like, I completely believe that. Now, maybe these rules were in place because, we were talking about this all last year. We were saying, man, when this gets close to the election, shit's going to get crazy. But it's one thing to say it, then it actually starts happening right in front of you. They start removing videos arbitrarily off YouTube that aren't breaking any rules at all. They just go against the narrative. And then Naughty Dog continue. I mean, they're doing it to this day, right? Did they just hit you recently? Was it on Twitter, Jeremy? Yeah.
Yeah. I got hit with 4 DMCA takedowns. But let me say this point real quick.
Yeah.
4 for memes. Look, let's be real. I mean, memes are very dangerous, very hurtful. Memes are literally killing people in the streets right now. So hopefully they'll pass a law. But someone tweeted us out, and I think this is fantastic. Wait until Trump uses this feature where those people can't sit there and just shit all up in his comments, and they're going to lose it.
How dare you silence us? How dare...
They're going to lose their minds when these people that live for his tweets so
that is the people's Twitter. You can't censor that.
Wait until Trump sits there and utilizes this feature, and they are going to lose their fucking
I wonder
mind.
if they're going to say a public figure can't, because he's not allowed to block people, right?
Neil Druckmann is a public figure, is he not?
Yeah, Naughty Dog's using it as their public profile.
Yeah. So Neil Druckmann's using it.
Yeah, so I don't
Only
see how
people he follows can reply to his tweets.
Well, I think if you're a servant of the people, you can't block. I think if
he's
you're
a
private
bitch
citizen,
of the
you can.
he's a bitch of Anita Sarkeesian. It's slightly different.
The thing I like about Trump, he still uses his personal.
Yeah, it's his personal. Yeah.
He never uses like the official president of the United States one. Really, he just keeps using his personal one because he knows he has to give up the POTUS one once when he's not in office, whenever that is. So he's just going to keep building this. But it's great. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I love it. I love it so much to flip their logic on them, because ultimately this should not be a feature on Twitter. This basically makes Twitter Facebook. You know what I mean? Like the thing that made Twitter so accessible to so many is you have if outside of the fact that there is a few people that will have accounts logged, but that's the slim minority on Twitter. I mean, 99% of all accounts are public. You know what I mean? So now with Twitter accounts, like people like Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog and other companies are going to be utilizing this feature. This is going to be a huge turnoff to what has been the appeal to Twitter, in my opinion. And they will continue to abuse this, and people are going to be sick of it. They're like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean?
I actually think it's great for us. I mean, people are going to be exiting these platforms and find other spaces.
Yep.
They're going to be coming to Bounding Into Comics and doing it in our chat, in our comment section. They're going to be coming to your website. They're going to be coming to your YouTube channels and commenting, because we're not going to turn that stuff off.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't plan to.
Nope. I mean, I was just, like with we have a blog section on our new website that we're going to be launching. So when you create a profile, you can actually have a personal blog on your profile. So you can write up something, whatever you want. And then you can share the link out. So to wherever on social media. And I was having a discussion with my web developers, and they're like, all right, we're going to put it into, like a blog, and then that has to go to approval process. I was like, no. We are not approving people. Yeah, we may get trolled, and we'll have to handle that when it comes, but we're not gonna make people's blog posts have to be approved. If we get trolled, we'll handle that as it comes. You know what I mean? But we're not gonna disrespect everybody because of a few people. You know what I mean? We'll handle it. We're not gonna
case by case.
Yeah,
you
case
mean
by case.
Case by case basis. Shut up. That's an alt-right dog whistle.
I know there are going to be people that are going to create accounts. They're going to post in there. They're going to try and screenshot those posts, and they're going to use. I already know that's coming, and that's just part of it. You've got to deal with that.
Oh, they do that to us all the time.
Yeah. So what Twitter is doing is a monumental mistake, but it's perfect timing because, like I said, we're about to launch the site in the next few weeks, hopefully, and thank you, Twitter.
This will be devastating for them. I mean, like, who if you can't interact with it, I mean, they're going to find out that the negative interaction is why their tweets got traction a lot of the time. I know I'm stating the obvious, but they did this. They have to know this is, but their platform doesn't grow that much either. It's pretty stagnant. So this is a dumb move. Facebook sucks now too.
This is a great move. Hopefully this is the first step of Twitter going away.
Oh God, yes. I'm waiting for the hashtag Twitter is over party. That's the one I want. What Chris Evans was over yesterday? I dipped in on that for a second. I didn't understand it.
I didn't see what was going on with that. I saw the hashtag trending, and I was like, whatever. All it was a bunch of women posting pictures of him. Women and Neil Druckmann
from South Korea or whatever.
Guys,
there's Neil Druckmann. What?
IGN have just this posted yesterday, but how Naughty Dog are using new Twitter tool to fight the Last of Us spoilers and leaks.
Yeah. We roasted
Odin
them.
just responded to that.
And then Breitbart actually did an article. They mentioned you as Breitbart did an article. They mentioned the quartering Justin Guy and as talking about the Naughty Dog abuse of copyright. So shout out to them.
No way, really? That's wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they highlighted the story. I tweeted about it. So
here it is.
Very
right
much
here.
Check that out, Nancy.
Very much appreciate that.
Yeah, that's crazy. And IGN, which is. Well, it used to be from San Francisco. Who the hell knows who runs them now? But
Neil Cuckman got an invite.
No, my parody joke account got the Twitter invite. Zero Duality said.
Hey. That is brilliant. That is just the best.
It's just the best. Let's grab a couple super chats
you should
here.
Just do. Am I doing this right? And people aren't allowed to respond to you. Am I doing this right? Have I got my nice little echo chamber set up? Lovely.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Do you have the feature?
No, I don't. Fuck it. I ain't gonna use that.
Oh, I know that. I just didn't know because the only person I've seen that I know, Memology made a tweet just to test it out, and he was kind of like playing around with it, but he's the only person I've seen that we know that has that option. I mean, look, Twitter keeps sending me this updated rules and policy bullshit, and wants me to hit OK, and I just close out of it and then go back. I'm not hitting that fucking shit, So as long as I can operate without hitting OK on it, I will.
I don't. None of that stuff pops up for me, but I guess I don't go there enough. It's probably a good thing. Hail, Gary. I love you, but But there's a but. It feels like
it's fly now.
Bye. I love you, but you're dead to me. No, I love you, but it's like 10 years since you promised the Picard video. Now 2 effing good Batwoman videos. Thank you. Finish the video. Let Az handle the heels. Rant contest Az versus Jeremy over. Naughty Dog. What are they going to rant over? Should somebody take the pro Naughty Dog side?
Yeah, it ain't nowhere near over. Nowhere near. Although I will say my last Naughty Dog video absolutely tanked I mean, so bad. And again, it had great, like it has a 99%, like to dislike ratio. Comments are good. Absolutely tanked. It was 10 out of my last 10 videos. It was the worst performer. And I have no idea. I mean, I was talking about the DMCA strikes that they put on memes, and it just tanked from an algorithm standpoint. So
they're probably
crazy.
shadow banning.
Yep.
I mean,
I would imagine.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony got on YouTube's bent the knee for everybody else. They bent the knee for CBS. They shadow ban the hell out of Star Trek videos for the most part. So,
well, I mean, YouTube is such a weird
Except for
system. Like
Red
me
Letter Media.
and Az were talking about this. Like, okay, so he posted, what was it, a PUBG video? It was squashed in between, it was squashed in between two videos that had like 80, 90,000 views for you, and then you had like 8,000 views on the PUBG video. I'll post a Mario Kart highlight video that gets 7,000 or 8,000 views. Okay. I posted my Batwoman news. You posted your Batwoman news. You hit 20,000 in the first hour, which was a record for you.
Yeah.
And I hit 26,000 in the first hour, which is probably like the third best I've ever done. The other two were like Game of Thrones videos that were topical, so they just went ridiculous. And it's just like, it's so weird how this works. Like, why does this stuff, like, again, I've got 200, me and you basically have the same amount of subscribers, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's just weird how the whole algorithm thing works.
But my last 3 videos have all been squashed. All 3, my last 3.
It's crazy.
It's weird.
It's so weird. So, but yeah, I saw our Batwoman videos because we posted them around the same time, and because somebody in my comments said that I'm waiting for heel versus babyface. I'm like, he's posting. His should be up right now. But yeah, and then we post these gaming clips, and it's just like, yeah, nobody sees it. So it's weird. Whatever.
It might go to. There's probably a couple reasons for that. My guess is since our blip last Thursday, when YouTube blipped out for a minute, it's been acting kind of weird. And obviously,
it really has.
Yeah, anytime there's an issue, like we can't, or right now, it's not showing the current count in the live stream. Now I can deal with that. That's fine. I'm seeing everything else, but it says that there's 1,000 people watching.
Well, I can't update my videos right now through my YouTube studio on my phone.
Yep.
I can't save. I can't, because I'll add my tags, I'll turn monetization on, but save is not highlighted for me to press it to actually save it. I have to go to my computer right now to save anything. So my YouTube studio on my phone does not work. And I've closed out, I've uninstalled it. It just won't work.
From now on, anytime something like that's going on, I am not going to release a video unless it's like just, really topical. I'll wait till things work out. That's generally what happens. It's probably going to be like another week. I feel like such an idiot. So when I was in the chat yesterday, it was yesterday, I was for 2 hours trying to get this situation. I mean, like, I thought I was actually talking to a person, but I wasn't. I was talking to a bot. I was talking to an AI bot. And I was like, why isn't this person answering my direct questions? Because I asked them 6 times, can I send you a screenshot? And they just like, the weather's nice today. They would just like go past it. I'm like, what the hell? Is this guy fucking with me right now? And yeah, they were. So there you go. Trent Dog, I am taking my time with the Picard review, and it will not be as good as Red Letter Media because I'm not as good as them yet. I need to practice a lot more, but I am taking my time because you know what you hear in the Red Letter Media video and everybody's reviews, and it's absolutely applicable with Star Trek Picard or anything that Kurtzman does, and Az knows this, he's seen it all. It is impossible to review these shows because so many dumb things happen. It would take you 3-4 hours to point out one episode how many plot holes, like all this. I'm doing it all. I'm not missing a fucking thing. So it might be 3 parts. If
I properly dissected a Batwoman video, for example, it would take me 3 hours to do one 40-minute episode.
Yeah,
because it's just a mess.
Well, what you had a couple 45-minute ones. I watched all your reviews. So
also, Comics Division is in the back.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
you're welcome. And we had about 3,900 people watching. So
thank you, everyone. Thank you, and welcome, Comics Division. Nice of you to grace us with your presence.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey.
You missed the corn dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. I like corn dogs. Corn dogs are good.
Corn dogs are awesome. They're great.
Corn dogs are toxic, and that is an alt-right dog whistle, and I don't appreciate being part of this conversation right now.
They're phallic. They're a symbol of the patriarchy.
Yes.
You can't win them all. That's all I gotta say.
You can't.
No.
Welcome. What's up, man?
Oh, dude, just been a busy week, man. How about yourself?
Oh,
It's been crazy.
It has. It's been crazy here.
Mrs. Nerdrotic is at stage 2, so she can go and do curbside pickup as a salon. So that's always good.
How do you do curbside pickup as a salon?
drive-by snipping.
Yes. She passes out color packets. She may or may
She's
not
using
have,
drones.
Yes, drones, Chinese drones though, so they spy on us. Just like all the Zoom meetings that China is like, everybody's doing Zoom meetings and they know everything about us now.
That's
Good job.
That's great,
morons.
It's like
Yeah.
an Imperial probe droid
Reward.
comes in and cuts your hair.
Well, I got my hair cut last week, and it was interesting because you're required to wear a mask. You know, when you come in, you have to sanitize your hands. It makes sense. You know, to take your temperature. You have to wear a mask the entire time. So it's kind of messy when you have hair dyes involved. So
It is, but they're trained in health and safety though. At least here.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they have to get licenses for that stuff. So.
yeah, you have to get licensed here as well. It's a thing.
Wow.
Do you rock that hair dye comics? Is that
I
what you're
do.
trying to say? Oh.
I do.
There you go. Would you be gray without the hair dye or brown?
No, I have flexa gray. My beard is really gray, and because of the whole mask thing, I can't get it dyed. So I have to, apply some just for a minute at some point.
There you go.
Are you doing a touch of gray?
Not yet. Maybe another year. I don't know. Anyway,
I got grey. Look.
I got.
I had to say, for Gary being older than me, his beard has remarkably held up way much better than mine. Mine was pretty much gray when I was in my my late 30s.
It's because you're dark haired. You tend to go. Dark haired people
Yeah.
tend to go grey earlier.
Yeah.
I'm pretty gray in the beard. At least like there's one side that's like, oh, it's weird.
He's got that Snapchat filter on right now. So
That's right.
Where's your beard, Jeremy?
I don't look. The more people ask, the more it will never happen. I'm not everybody. When everybody does it, I don't. That's why I've never drank. That's why I've never smoked. So I've never done drugs, and that's why I've never.
I'm never gonna grow a beard.
Oh, come on! You can't grow one, Jeremy. Let it go.
I can grow one. Actually, this morning I woke up and it had been quite a few days, and I was like, "Do I really want to let this go?" No, and so I shaved it again. I just don't like. It would be difficult for me though to grow one because I've never really grown it out. But no, have no interest.
For me, like the goatee is as much as I can get. I can't grow like a full beard.
Yeah, you have to let it grow. Odin knows. You have to let him grow out a few times before it like gets going.
Okay.
Yeah, the first
I'll have
one's
to try
always
that
going to
then.
be a little rough.
Yeah, go just completely all out at first, and then you can clean it up.
Yep. But yes, Star Trek Picard review is coming. It will come out. It will be. I'll tell you when it's released. When I take my vacation, I've got 2 videos I'm going to release while I'm gone: my Witcher review and my Picard review. So they will come. Thank you for asking, though, Trek Dog. I do have a Star Trek video in the works, but it's not the Picard review. Paisley Gemini for $4.99. Hail to you all. Hopefully, this super chat will get through and no ghosting. So far, so good. Thank you, Paisley, and thank you for the $4.99. UPS man for $5. I think my brain is broken after watching the Tenet trailer. I love the subtle sci-fi of Nolan. Oh, guys, the Tenet trailer.
Yeah, Tenet is amazing.
I've not seen it yet.
Neither have I.
Dude,
I saw it last year, man. It's fucking
There's a new one.
amazing.
Oh,
there's
it's
a new one?
today.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I've seen
Didn't
the
they
old
drop
one.
it?
I've seen the new
Like
one.
didn't they drop it inside of Fortnite or something like
They
that?
did. Of all the things, though, to be fair, they need to make money right now.
it's a marketing ploy. I mean, because Nolan is, the IMAX CEO said Nolan is so dedicated to staying on that date, he will not, compromise. Now, again, it's not ultimately going to be his call, but he wants to stay on that date. They're not going to make the money they can make. They're absolutely not going to. So the Fortnite thing makes sense, even though I hate Fortnite.
Yeah.
And it's such a strange, you're appealing to the Fortnite crowd, okay?
Yeah.
But that trailer was fantastic, and this movie, I mean, again, that's coming from me. I'm not objective when it comes to Nolan. So listen to anybody else but me, because I was going to love it no matter what. But
It does look
looks
good, though.
No, it looks
does.
really good. I will go and see it in the theater if there's one open here. If there isn't, I'll go to Arizona. I'll go to Texas and watch it in the theater. I'm not afraid to go to a theater right now. I do it right now.
Drive through.
Texas is calling, man. You got to come here.
Yep.
We all believe we'd run into the burning building. But until we feel that heat, we can never know. You do. You chose to die instead of giving up your colleagues. That test you passed? Not everybody does. Welcome to the afterlife.
To do what I do, I need some idea of the threat we face.
As I understand it, we're trying to prevent World War III.
Nuclear holocaust.
No. Something worse.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too.
You have to start looking at the world in a new way.
Don't try to understand it. Feel it.
What'll happen here? Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, with when it comes to the Tenet trailer, was I love that. I think the best part of that trailer was the very end. It said "coming to theaters," and I'm like, Nolan had his hand all over that. He's like, "This is not going to demand. This is going to theaters." And stop.
That movie has to be a theater. I mean, it just looks too freaking amazing.
That's like with Dunkirk. Like, if there's people out there like Odin who are stupid that didn't like Dunkirk,
It's overrated, man. That's all I'm saying.
But watching Dunkirk in a theater, it's truly a different experience than watching it at home. I'm not saying I'm pretty sure Odin saw it in theaters, but
I agree with that point. Absolutely, I'm not a huge fan of it, but
watching that movie in a theater, it completely changes everything. His movies are meant to see on the biggest screen with the best sound. They just absolutely are. So, but this movie, there's no way. I know there's some little teenager who watched, Dunkirk on on their smartphone and like,
Nolan, I could do better than Nolan.
Shut the fuck up. Shut your fucking mouth. Go play Fortnite, okay? And it looks like Nolan's appealing to you.
They did, and then they saw the trailer for Tenzo.
Oh,
what's a Fortnite? No, I'm kidding.
I kind of know what it is. I don't know.
I don't know the Fortnite stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a weird game that whenever you put voice chat on, you're always grouped up with Italian 5-year-olds. It's bizarre. You turn voice chat on, and it's
Fortnite.
You're just like, oh, fucking mute.
That's racist.
Turn on your mic. Turn on your microphone. Talk.
And they go, "Hi guys," and then they go, "Oh, fucking English puto."
Collider. Jeremy,
that's a good one.
That's their response after all this shit. That's their response. Jeremy, okay, so Jeremy used to watch Collider, used to enjoy Collider. No shade. I mean, I don't know. I just never came across him.
The majority of my viewers that watch me now came from Collider. Back in the day, that was the top dog. I mean,
Collider wasn't terrible back in the day.
Huge. I absolutely used to watch them daily. That was like Sports Center for movies for me. I loved it.
And was it 2016 that did him in?
I mean, it was. Oh yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of people at Collider that I never knew their politics until the Orange Man, and then all of a sudden, it fundamentally changed everything about the way they approached the entire outlook on movies and everything. So yeah, Orange Man changed it all, and it opened up a lot of problems from that. Maybe we I don't know if they were there before. I mean, obviously they were there. These people had those opinions. I don't care if you have those opinions. I don't care what opinion you have. But when it starts affecting the way you are approaching the news cycle and movie opinions, then yeah, absolutely. So, but that's really where it started to take the downfall right there. Yep.
Well, apparently Drew Taylor from Collider is concerned for the future of cinema. Why,
poor Drew?
Oh, really? Now
Yes.
I find that all rather convenient.
It has
I hope
nothing.
he gets over it. Bye, Drew.
I'm sure that's the entire motivation behind this article, John F. Trent. I'm sure it has nothing to do with being wrong about the Snyder Cut for so long, and the fans winning. And Collider, how's that channel doing, by the way? Are the deep fakes still coming? Are they still doing well?
I have no idea. I know nothing about Collider currently on their YouTube side.
Yeah,
I know.
They
I
fired
think
him.
their traffic is in decline.
Yeah, we'll go check
I mean,
it in a second.
They've been irrelevant since that whole announcement. I don't even see it come across my recommendeds anymore. I know nothing about what Collider is doing. I mean, all these channels that Screen Junkies, Collider, all of those big channels that had this news organization style, they're irrelevant now. Absolutely irrelevant. Because they don't sit there and tell people what's going on. They give the studio talking points. They're not going to criticize what's actually going on in Hollywood. They absolutely will not do it. And that's why so many channels like mine and Gary and others have significantly grown in that interim, because people are looking for opinions that aren't going to be guarded with the hopes of having more access. It's nonsense. But yeah, Collider's
their last video, so they have 625,000 subscribers on the main channel. Their last video that came out 2 hours ago only has 495 views.
Ooh. 2
What's
hours?
Wow.
2 hours ago, they have 625,000 subscribers and 495 views.
What's the topic of the video, just in case it's
Ronald D. Moore live interview.
I would maybe understand now.
I mean, that's
Outlander, Battlestar Galactica. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
But all their videos are like between like 2,000 and 3,000, and then there's a couple that hit up to like 8,000. But to have that many subscribers, that's really bad.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I'm sure it's the beer bug's fault.
No, yeah.
No one's home watching videos, right?
More
No,
traffic.
no.
Right now,
It's like
they're
the second best month of my YouTube career, but no.
right now their monthly views are 3.87 million. And that's on a channel with 625,000 subs, 3.8. And they upload all the time. They have over 9,000 uploads on their channel, so they upload consistently. I mean, and I would say I'm more of a comparison than Gary, because I upload a lot on Geeks and Gamers, whereas Gary uploads, every couple of days. So overall views, his channel is doing better than Geeks and Gamers per video, but we have more videos, but we get 5 million views a month.
I think we're like even. I think we're like even. I mean, like, you don't put out too much. Like, I only do like 2 million views a month. But
you put and what I'm saying is you put less videos out, but per video you get a significantly more views overall. Either way, the point is I'm just saying, like, they get 3.8 million at 625,000 subs, and they upload a lot of content, as does Geeks and Gamers, and we're getting over 5 million views a month, and we have 240,000 subs. So they're dying. Collider is dying. It's such a bad move by what Mark Fernandez did by getting rid of all those shows, moving into this deep fake bullshit. Dude, there's people right now on their fucking smartphone that can pull a deep fake. Holy shit. You want to see a deep fake? You want to see a deep fake? Here's your fucking deep fake right here. Here's deep fake. Shout out to Ryan. I know you're going to hate that I'm doing this. I'm sorry. But here's your deep fake right here. Okay. Here's your deep fake.
That whole thing is so weird.
Where's the holy water?
Play it again. Play that again. I need to see that again.
So to paint so everybody knows what's going on. We were playing.
You just dropped a super chat.
We're playing Mario Kart.
I think I really did pee a little.
Ryan gets really angry. So somebody made this on Twitter.
The facial expression is perfect. It's fucking perfect.
Oh, the super chat from Ryan.
Oh, you're my boy, Ryan. Oh, oh my God.
The best thing is, whenever that they sent that to me, they sent me an email with that, and I uploaded it, and then I tagged Memology. Memology put it at the end of his video talking about the deer. He didn't give any context or nothing.
Dude,
like,
Ryan, you made the big time. What are you talking about? He says F off to his dads, for one. Listen, buddy.
Wow.
Listen, little buddy.
Seems like your son needs a spanking.
It does. You
Kids
stay
are so
gold,
grateful.
pony boy. You just calm down there.
Ryan, what's with this language?
Yeah. Wow. That was holy
I will
crap.
upload that full video later. That's a whole compilation of his Mario Kart raging and everything like
I
that. There's a
love
couple
it.
of me in there too. So
I will be watching that.
Was it what's the jiggy that did it? Who's the guy that did that one?
Hey_Songbird is
right,
and he just recently is that the one that he's the one that did the one of you, right?
With the Batwoman? No, I don't think. No, mine was different. Same thing though with Batwoman.
Oh my god, that was like the greatest meme ever. No, the Naughty Dog one.
Oh yeah, with the running like with the bottle or
Running
something.
away?
That was great.
Oh yeah. With the image.
Did you see that one, Gary?
Yeah.
Did you see that one, Gary?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it was
for it right
fantastic.
now. Hang on. Fucking hell. I can't find it now. I sent it to somebody
My
the
name's
other day.
Jeremy. I can't find it either.
I'll try and find it, man.
Dude, that is gold because it's that picture of Az. He's like doing that, and then it's got on the little girl running, and then it's got like this buff chick with a golf club with a Naughty Dog written on her waistline chasing him. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Oh man.
Does she have the golf club?
Yes.
Yeah. I got Abby after me. I'm legging it, man. I'm fucking legging it.
I was
I'm
crying.
getting out of there.
Oh, here we go. I found it. I found it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is one of the best ones I've ever seen right here.
I'll send it to our chat group on Twitter.
All right.
Oh man. Just do a screen share if you got it.
Yeah, screen share.
Oh my goodness.
All right, one sec.
That is so good. Oh,
There
my
we
God.
go. Here, screen share now. I got it.
I
Look
got
at
you.
there.
I got
Tell
you.
me
I
that's
got
not beautiful right there. That
It's like what is that? Is it like is it deodorant?
It's Clorox wipes. It looks
Oh, it's Clorox wipes. It's so beautiful.
Oh shit!
Look how angry, boy. She's angry.
She is.
Abby
She's got no
smash!
lips.
Abby smash.
Abby have no
What are those
lips.
things above your head?
Bubble.
Bubbles.
Those are bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're fucking with my shit, yo.
Oh my God.
Oh, memes are the best.
They
Isn't that
are.
No, they're dangerous, Jeremy.
They're dangerous. They're so dangerous.
Hey Songbird. Yeah, that's who it is. That's the same one that did the Ryan one. So we've got
Amazing.
some fantastic memers. We've got some fantastic memers.
Oh,
I got a Batwoman one
memes
which
are
I need to
dangerous.
share.
I got to talk about those freaking no pixels for fascist people. They're crazy. And the fact that EA is hitching their wagon to him, it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, EA are fucking corrupt as fuck.
Yeah. Of course, they're trying to improve their image, and the easiest way to do that is to come out against Nazis. Come on, man, that's low hanging fruit. Nobody likes Nazis. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know.
People that make memes do, because they are. All right. How dare you?
Snyder Cut fans are too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nazis made a big comeback from not being around.
You like
or
the Snyder Cut, you're a Nazi.
You're a Nazi. If you like the air cut, you're a sexist Nazi.
Oh,
Sexist
misogynist.
Nazi. Yeah, misogynist Nazi.
Misogyny in there as well. Come on.
Ay. Such a great world we live in, and we're all locked down together. It's fucking great. Rewatching Blake 7 after 42 years. Think they were on the run from the fashion police? Says cheap bastard for £5.
Oh.
I thought the fashion was good in Blake 7, but I also was alive in the 70s, so I saw that stuff in real life. And the 70s were, I think the whole human race was high on drugs, just that entire decade.
You're probably not wrong.
Only explanation.
You were in college then, right?
I was in college, yes. No.
Was it groovy times?
It was groovy times, man.
Yeah.
It was groovy times. No, I was 4 years old, but
nice.
College, yeah. No, I never went to college. Come on. You guys saw that I couldn't spell it. As a matter of fact,
but you owned a comic shop.
It still says,
okay, I'm trying to.
I did. Yeah. I could barely read the comic. That's why I like comics, because it had pictures in it.
Hey, man, that's the reason why I like comics. It helped my whole dyslexia thing, so.
Comics have helped a lot of people begin to be able to read. So
now you get dyslexia if you read a fucking Marvel comic,
right?
No, that's called brain damage. As
Deers have dyslexia too, from what I understand. That's why you can't have voice chat.
Oh, well, Spock's dyslexic.
That is repressive.
I don't think anyone else was listening to that when you said it. But I appreciate it.
I couldn't hear it. Repeat. Or not.
Whose comment?
I couldn't hear what John said.
Oh, I just said deer have dyslexia too. That's why you can't have voice chat.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I gotta send you a mic. I said I promised I'd send you a mic. I got an extra one.
I have one. I just haven't set it up yet.
I mean, it's okay.
So it wouldn't do any good, man. You send him the mic and he won't.
No, he doesn't set it up. He just.
Is it a USB microphone?
The one that I have, no.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say because if it's USB, you just plug it in, boom, it's set up.
Yep.
No, I just moved in. Where I'm at now, I just moved in 2 weeks ago, so I still got a bunch of boxes and stuff.
I got you.
It's over here on the floor. But.
Have you guys heard Troy Baker talking about the spoilers and comparing critics to dopamine addicts?
Yep, we got that.
Yeah.
We wrote that up
Because I just
today.
seen Ufology's video that he just uploaded. I'm listening to Troy Baker right now. Like
just some guy did a great video where he's cutting in like the shit from from Cuckman.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking hilarious,
like,
man.
Basically saying like if you think screenshots are going to ruin the gaming experience, and it's like, then why are they copyright?
Oh no, he did another one. Yeah, where he.
Yeah.
It's crazy. His hair is weird, man.
People are
nuts. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit rich coming from me, but he's got a real fucked up hairdo, hasn't he?
it's like the hipster.
My hair is just so out there. I'm such an extrovert. Oh my god. I hope nobody comments on it. Oh my god.
Again, Naughty Dog, you stupid motherfuckers. This was never going to be this big of a deal if it wasn't for your stupidity. The leaks happened.
Troy's stupidity. He started everything.
Yeah.
He was a fucking idiot that said, hey, keep an open mind about our game. And when you say that, it means divisiveness.
That's code for it's going to be crap.
Exactly. And again, once the leaks happened, just fucking deal with it. Like, I mean, everything typical. The fucking Rise of Skywalker got leaked like 6 fucking months before the goddamn movie came out. We talked about it nonstop. What was it? The Witcher. Didn't The Witcher, the TV series, didn't it leak online? I'm pretty sure
some images of the
right. Well, the entire story and everything, but not the actual videos of it. But again, just all you had to do was just move on with it. If you wouldn't have struck channels down, if you wouldn't have struck memes down, if you wouldn't have taken people down silent for having opinions, this would have been here today, gone tomorrow. Would have been over with. But you motherfuckers made this a bigger deal than it should have been, that it needed to be.
Yeah.
You created this.
Game of Thrones leaks were out there. They were accurate. We all believed they were accurate. They were out there for months, and they still got 18 million people watching the show.
Yep.
Because they didn't say a goddamn word. It was like the 4th season in a row that they leaked, and they didn't care. So, yeah, they're fucking morons. But, this is going to go on past the game release, though. They're going to probably try to suppress you guys beyond that. When the game comes out, I think the shit stirs right back up again now. I'm convinced.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And I'm just going to take as much opportunity as humanly possible.
Yes.
So,
ride this.
Because you're so toxic, Jeremy. That's why.
Absolutely, I am. Goddamn right I am.
Better to burn out than to fade away.
Yep.
Right. Maybe put in the chat. Play that 1.5 minute trailer I did.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Az. I appreciate it.
Oh, what's it a trailer for?
I did my own little trailer for The Last of Us. I think it's a better representation of the game.
Oh.
Representation.
It's got golf in it still, right?
Learned so far about the
Az, you're
game,
so
and I've
talented.
decided to put together a trailer I think works.
Thank you so much.
That's so kind of you.
It's all about the clickers, right?
Stunning and brave.
Kind of.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
There we go.
You have no idea what you're walking into.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
But what you need to assemble is a set of clubs that is suited for your game. Now, you may well have seen traditional sets of clubs with driver, fairway woods, irons, wedges and a putter. But what clubs do you need? And what do each one do? Don't worry, ma'am is here with some good advice on how to build your bag. The right set of clubs for you are ones which give you the highest percentage of hitting successful shots and which bring enjoyment on the golf course.
You don't know how large that group is. How armed.
It's ma'am. It is ma'am. Don't care. Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir. Usually it's ma'am.
If you're out on the golf course and you're often left with a shot for which you don't have the correct club, chances are you're not going to score as well as you could do.
Well done.
I thought it was more accurate. I thought it was a more accurate representation of the game.
Well done, my friend.
You earned a like, buddy. Good job.
That needs to go viral.
Yeah.
It got quashed. It got quashed by you. Look at it. It got 25K.
I am going to tweet that out. That was fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Speaking of stunning and brave, somebody else said we all were too. We were still stunning and brave to start later. LOLs. I thought we did pretty good today, guys. I really did. Maybe I'm wrong though. Adam Wolford, thank you for the $2. The Doctor 14 Blu-ray reviews. I can always count on the Doctor to give us a hot take in the super chats. Thank you. It's good to see. He's a member of my channel too. My cousin watched Ghostbusters 2016 and found it easy to watch for £5. Yes, I mean if you have eyes and you can look at something, I'm sure it's not hard as long as the sound is off.
It was beautifully made.
Was it beautiful, man? Oh, who said
it was
that?
beautifully made.
That CGI was just spotless.
I have not seen it.
To quote George Lucas.
Oh, yes, that's right. What was that reference to? Was that Last Jedi, right?
Last Jedi.
Yeah. It was beautifully made. He didn't say what specific though. I mean, he could have said the popcorn was beautiful.
That was some pretty good CGI.
Yeah. They probably asked him.
The rest of the movie's crap.
Pretty good.
It's beautiful made. I'm sterile, so I have no passion. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Einhorn is a man.
Thank you, Zero Duality, for 2 Canadian pesos. Cesario JPN for $10. Watching Dan Bell's latest Another Dirty Room when I got notified and saw the title card in the description feed. Oddly, didn't get notified for Nerdrotic Live and the last Exozone podcast. I wouldn't be surprised. The Exozone does it, but you know what? It stayed monetized for the first time ever. So I think they have bigger fish to fry than come after UFOs, which is good. It's doing pretty well over there on Nerdrotic Live, man, is
rocking and rolling.
Woo, where am I at? Hang on. Little personal shit here. Sorry. I am at 24,882 subs. I'm almost at 25,000. Can't believe it.
Boom.
Awesome.
Nice. Very nice.
Killing it.
Richard Cotton for $2. Here's some moving money or moving found money. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate it. Wes, the process has started. The Cal exit has started. I'm so excited. Comics Division sent me a house, house.
Did.
Oh my! I wanted to buy it. I mean, I can't. But, dude, it's half. Not even. It's a quarter of what my house cost. It's a quarter of what my house cost.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you, man. If you sell your house, you can come here, outright purchase your house, buy a building for your wife, and a comic shop for yourself. It's so much cheaper
tempting.
here.
SF was a beautiful city, says Arthur P. for $2. Was
very true.
It is not, and it's all the tech a-holes who have come here, and they're actually worse than the hippies. I don't like hippies either. I'm not a fan of hippies, but the tech a-holes are worse, much worse. Watch Silicon
Sadly.
Valley. Yeah, have you any of you seen Silicon Valley on HBO?
No, but I think you should. There's another songbird. He did another thing for me, which I've just put into the private chat here.
Oh boy!
Where I appear in Batwoman.
All right. Well,
in actual fact, I may be taking over the role.
I'm hoping
Stunning
for it.
and brave,
In my video, I said that a man should try out. And by the way, I want any actress out there who does go for the role, tell them you're straight and audition, because they said they're only looking for alphabet, and they can't do that. They can't do that. By Silicon Valley is season 1 is brilliant.
Dude, Hey Songbird is amazing.
He is. I love him. I love him so much.
That was funny.
So much.
Yeah, I've never watched Silicon Valley because I kind of already live it. Just not in Silicon Valley, obviously.
No, the show is great. It's one of the best things he's done. Mike Judge has done. Hang on, let me get. Is there sound with this too? Yes. See?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. Make sure the sound is up. I love us so much. Here we go.
I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
I need you to fix his suit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Literal perfection.
Oh. I need that video. I gotta bookmark that. Hang on. That is becoming a permanent part of the show. That is becoming a permanent part of the show. That was fucking genius.
Man, I really like a woman.
Good God.
Dude looks like a lady.
Yeah. So do you think they'll cast another 105-pound actress, or do you think they're going to... well, I don't know. Az, do you think she got fired or quit?
Fired. Mutually quit, fired. She quit, as Zach would say, during the middle of the day while in tears.
While in tears, yep. Yeah, I heard she was miserable, so I think it was mutual, and she probably was asked to leave, and she hated the role. She couldn't stand it.
Like, how do you feel if we recast the role? How would you feel about that? Fine. Yeah, okay. I think we'll go. Okay, then I think we'll go forward with that. Thank you so much.
I said this last night. I mean, those pictures where she's walking around with a cane. I swear to God, she looks like you could snap her in half like a freaking breadstick.
Yeah.
Well, she's way too skinny to play that woman.
Are you body shaming right now, comics? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. No, I'm just being
She is
realistic.
strong
man.
and powerful. Okay.
That's like casting me as an NBA player. Come on, this is not going to fucking happen.
You can't fire me. I quit. That's how she left. You can't fire me.
No, I think she probably gets hurt in the. She has a stunt person, obviously, but just in the regular scenes, I think she can get hurt. Even if a guy grabs that, like that scene where she's fighting off the 300-pound tight end in the fucking train, where she fought after he kicked her dad's ass. Poor Doug Ray Scott, and then she like fought to a draw. She could get hurt doing that. She's
I'm sorry, a 300-pound dude, one punch to her face would probably cave her skull.
It would. He could kill her.
Oh, in the rematch, he throws her over the fucking balcony to a load of tape, to a load of chairs. That's it. She's out.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Batwoman. See the season.
I haven't either. I've just seen pictures of her.
At the end of the episode, he beats her again.
Yes.
And then he has to get shot by all the crows dead for him to be defeated.
One of the MacGuffins was a shard of kryptonite being the only thing that can pierce the bat suit that's got a giant face
But it's
opening.
not going to be a penis, darling.
Yes.
Certainly not going to be a penis now, is it?
Shotgun to the face.
Shotgun to the face.
Just think how fucking retarded this is. The only thing that can pierce the bat suit is kryptonite.
Howard, sir.
I heard of Superman's. He's the green thing, isn't he? Oh, I don't know. Let's make a movie. Caroline cries.
Ruby Rose as She-Hulk.
One episode, and we're so proud of that.
What they did to Hush, fuck. I mean, like, this is why I hate when they introduce characters into the CW, because that's a lot of people's first impression. It's kind of like Dark Phoenix. We've seen Dark Phoenix now adapted shitty twice, so now when people actually see it, they're not going to care anymore.
Just seen Batwoman. They've just seen Batwoman. That's it. They're off.
Comics, your food's here, by the way.
Yeah. Just think that if their first version of seeing Bane was on Gotham,
right? Oh. No, that's how you dilute the brand, though.
I didn't watch. Gotham
either.
Oh, he looks like a cyborg type creature. He doesn't look like Bane at all.
But is it better than Bane?
No, it's way worse. It's 1,000 times worse.
Well, at least that Bane looked like fucking Bane.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, what?
That's why looking like characters is.
That's Darth Vader.
I haven't seen this. I need.
Yeah, he looks like a Sith. Yeah.
I'm pulling it up. Hang on.
You got it.
I got it.
What the fuck is that?
If we're gonna talk about something, we should probably show it to everybody else. It's kind of a thing.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, and I like Shane West too. That's sad.
Darth Soy.
Jeez.
What the hell is on his chest? Jesus Christ!
Look at his haircut.
Wow, that is awful.
It is really bad.
Look, scroll down. He's got like spiky hair when he's like looking up there, right on the.
No.
Did they have him talk like Tom Hardy?
In 2001.
That is awful.
Oh my God! They actually sent this to Entertainment Weekly as a publicity shot to sell the show.
That's Terminator right there.
Wow, that's bad. Yeah, the comics, folks, superhero shit is coming to an end very, very soon. So hopefully DC can figure something out really quick. And when they keep doing shit like this, diluting their brand, it's no surprise that it's going to come to an end.
I really didn't believe him when he said that the Bane was better than this one. It actually is. Because at least like I said, at least it looked like Bane, you know.
Yeah.
Until all the green goo leaked out and it became the skinny. God, these movies are so good.
You're talking about Triple H, right?
I kind of want to pull up some scenes from this now just to see how bad it is. Because Shane West is actually a decent actor.
Yeah.
You haven't seen Gotham?
Is the voice?
I watched the first season and I just couldn't get invested.
Yeah.
So.
Is the voice not all?
I didn't think I finished this like first half of season. You know, like I just couldn't get invested. But I heard it got better. I heard from a lot of people it got better, but did it?
No,
yeah, it did for a little bit.
It was okay. I mean, it was entertaining. It was wacky. It was a wacky show.
Yeah.
So it kind of leaned into like, this is crazy. We're not taking it very seriously. But I mean, it went full on SJW, CW, even though it wasn't on the CW towards the end, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't watch season 5, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it was pretty awful. And then that kid, they never bothered like bulking him up or anything, and he looked like he was in a musical theater, not fighting crime. Just saying.
Gary, find the bat suit from the very final episode.
Oh yeah. Oh god,
it's a travesty.
It is fucking awful.
Are you talking about what, Gotham or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's like Batman with sunglasses on, and then
John Roberts.
I never bothered watching the final episode.
Safe Space Bane.
Safe Space Bane.
Safe Space Bane.
Oh, I got a shot in front of the green screen. So you're talking about adult Batman, or when the kid was wearing his costume?
The very final.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Here we go. Which we were all waiting for. It's too bad Tom Welling couldn't wear the costume just at the end. Smallville. That would have made me happy.
Just got to see just the.
He didn't want to wear it.
He didn't want to wear it, so fuck him. I didn't buy
Really?
it.
He's a fucking actor, man.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought you're supposed to do what the director tells you to do.
Well,
he was a producer.
He used a clause, which was his clause in his contract was he'd never have to put on the suit. He'd never have to fly, and he'd never have to put on the suit. He compromised with the flying, but he didn't want to put the suit on.
It's ridiculous.
He said he didn't. At the time, he said he didn't want to do all the working out to make it look good when he was wearing it.
How come nobody can get the goddamn Batman costume right? Like, ever.
Well, the television can't for sure. Look at that. What the fuck is that?
BVS suit looked good.
Yeah, I did.
I'll give you that.
It did look good.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's about the only thing. So
Should have put the black pants on him, though. Should have put black pants on him as well.
You gotta put hockey pads on.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Hockey pants.
Sweating me.
Where were the other drugs going?
Hockey pants.
Where's the gender? Where? That's what it feels like.
Oh god, I hate that line.
Wow, that suit really is terrible, man.
It's so bad. So bad.
I like the college humor Batman. That is just the funniest fucking shit in the world.
What are you saying? I can't understand you. Is that even English?
So I will say, it was so perfect in Batman Begins. The voice was perfect in Batman Begins. It was so bad in Rises and The Dark Knight.
You know what they did? They actually, because in the original Batman Begins, it was just his voice, and then they decided to add post-production to it in the other two films, and it just.
Why he did that? I don't know why Nolan did that. It's so fucking.
Oh, that's a great suit.
Batman Dead End, man. They really nailed that shit.
Oh, I see.
They also nailed the Joker too.
That's Walter Koenig's kid. That's
and
Chekhov's.
That's Chekhov. And you know who played the Joker, right?
Yeah, I was just saying that. Chekhov's kid.
Yeah, Walter Koenig's son.
Oh, he killed himself.
He did, unfortunately, but he was fantastic as the Joker too.
Yeah, he was great.
But that suit, that image is actually amazing on the right hand side. That is fantastic. See, that's how pants can work. The pants do work.
They
You mean
serve a
underwear on the
purpose.
outside?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, pants are trousers in America, in Britain.
They
When you say
make
pants in Britain are underwear.
they
Really?
break
Yeah.
the monotony and don't make like Superman looks terrible without them.
Trousers.
You're right. It definitely breaks up the monotony of the outfit.
Yeah, it works. I mean, you're okay with a guy wearing a bat mask and everything, but you're going to draw the line at him wearing his fucking underwear outside. I don't understand that.
That's what I thought.
Well, the reason why they did it too is because of like the strongman trunks, like from the carnivals and whatnot. Circus.
But they got rid of them for like 15 years, and now they're back. Superman's got his trunks back on. Batman's got his trunks back on.
Some of that kind of involved like lawsuits or legal issues, which is the reason why they. Yeah, specifically with Superman. Yeah, it had to do with the estate.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Oh, this is the Batman Dead End figure. We've got one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Good shit.
That looks really good.
Oh, I was a huge fan of this. This thing, that would, man, this was back when Con, you could just walk up to Con and get in. And this was the talk of Comic-Con when this happened.
Really?
So, yep. Damn. Proving that, like, look, see, Batman on screen with a real costume, still can't fucking do it.
What year was that? I want to say like 99?
It's early 2000.
Early 2000.
Looked like it said 2013.
No, it was long.
No, it was a lot longer. It was like 99, 2000 something.
Yeah, my kid wasn't born when that happened. All right. It's
2003.
2003, okay.
2003. But damn, it was good. It was good.
$30,000 budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fighting Alien and Predator and the Joker. It's great. Love the old house, Odin. Did you watch Inner Space?
Zero Duality's always trolling me. He's like, "Oh, I love that old house," and it's like it's the new house, and so he keeps on saying it. And no, I've not watched Inner Space yet.
Thank you, Zero Duality.
Interspecies erotica.
Of course, you would hear that, Jeremy.
Saying
that's what I thought I heard too. And I said it. So what is everyone's favorite character from the Venture Brothers? Ironcaster for $5. I don't know if everybody watches the Venture Brothers here.
I don't.
Nope.
I don't.
The Monarch. Definitely the Monarch.
I like Rusty. I like Dr. Venture. I do. But Girl Hitler is hilarious. Gotta shout out Girl Hitler. She's barely in it, but anything with Girl Hitler is good.
Oh, Tiger Bomb!
Tiger Bomb! Got it. Boom.
You've
Scottish
proven
nerd.
yourself. You've exposed yourself. Of course, you
Yes.
like that character.
Yahtzees.
Yahtzees. Scottish Nerd sends a phallic unicorn for $1.49. Thank you very much. Mr. T for $5. Star Wars 1977. Luke gets a lightsaber. Star Wars 2020. Luke gets a gift card to Sephora. I know what Sephora is, Mr. T. I know what Sephora is because I'm married.
I get that reference for once.
Yes. Exactly. It's fashion. Well, Sephora's not, but that's what the ladies like. Beer Business One, for $20. Jeremy, did you hurt your knees down on Chris Nolan for the Tenet trailer?
No, they've actually my knees have actually had a lot of training over the last 15 years watching Nolan movies because every time one comes out, I drop to my knees because he is the king.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nah, and he said I enjoyed the coming to theaters at the end. Said Bear Business for $20. That trailer was dope. I loved it. Can't wait for that movie. And I guess I'll be seeing it alone in a movie theater. We're going to find out how many people are going to be actually scared to go out, and we'll see.
You know what? That might make it better because people won't be on their phones and the kids won't be in.
Dude, I hope
people won't be there.
I hope there's nobody there because I plan on watching this movie several times in theaters. So
I saw right before the lockdown stuff, the My Hero Academia movie, and that was, that theater was not packed at all.
Oh, my theater was packed when I saw that one. Full.
When did you see it?
I don't know. When did it come out? Was
it March, February? Do you remember what month?
I think it was like February.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Like February 20th around there, I think is when it came out. And my theater was full.
People weren't thinking it was seriously going to lock down back then. It was when that night when the NBA did it. That's when things got real.
I went and saw Bloodshot, and that theater was empty, and that was when they started locking stuff down.
I think it would have been empty
like 5
anyway.
people in the theater.
Bloodshot IDW.
Valiant.
Yeah, Valiant. IDW is not long for this world.
No, they sunk all their money into their. Zach explained it, but they sunk all their money into their property. So IDW is a comic book company, and it exists to make TV shows, and that's one of the biggest problems. Black Mask does that as well, although they can't get any picked up.
I wonder why.
Yeah, there's a lot of these companies, comic companies out there that are they're repurposing old scripts. That's a lot of it, is repurposed old scripts, and they're trying to get an IP sold. So they're IP farms So a large portion of comic books exists just for Hollywood right now, and it sucks because it's not.
They're open about it too.
Oh yeah,
They say that's like what they are. Yeah,
and that's why they suck, because they're not. That's not what you are. You're a comic book. So that's why they're doing so many comic books of people sitting around tables and fucking eating and blocking shit out like you're shooting a TV show, because they are. And that's what's made it horrible. So IDW is the worst case of this. They started out well. They're in San Diego. I support them for that, but I've never loved their art, except when Ben Templesmith was there. When Ben Templesmith was doing 30 Days a Night, that shit was dope.
Yeah, dude, his stuff is amazing.
Yeah, he's cool. Well,
Yeah.
I've met him a few times, so he's politically he's a But as one-to-one, he's fine.
Chuck Dixon's run on G.I. Joe was pretty amazing.
Yeah. I have some Templesmith Doctor Who art on my wall right over there. It's freaking great. No, so IDW put all their money into the TV shows. So they took a loan for Netflix that they made themselves. So people have been asking, who's going to make Star Trek? Who's going to make Star Trek? I think Secret Hideout will probably pay for Strange New Worlds, because IDW paid for Lock and Key.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's the only show that got second season.
Yeah, barely got one. It was good. It was good. I watched
October
it.
Faction.
It was fun.
Canceled.
It was fun.
Yep.
V Wars canceled.
Yep. Listen, I wouldn't have heard that. I knew Lock and Key was coming out. I didn't know when, and then I watched Az's video, and he mentioned he was watching it. I'm like, when did it come out? I didn't see anything.
Like you blinked and you missed it.
Yeah. So it was decent. It was decent.
Till the end.
Yeah, the end.
The end was complete second season bait.
Mm-hmm. Joe Rogan.
Was good. It had like a solid 7 episodes. A real good 7 odd episodes.
And the kids were good for the most part. And I thought that was good. Good recommendation, my friend. Joe Rogan, guys, going to Spotify. What are your thoughts from Arthur P. for $2?
I think it speaks to a bigger issue with YouTube. I don't necessarily think it's a good move for him to grow his brand, but he already has the biggest podcast, on the planet right now. But
I don't think he's concerned about growing it.
I don't think he's concerned. It's not going to help him grow, but it will. I mean, he signed reportedly $100 million. But I think it also reflects a lot of the things that's going on with YouTube. And I mean, like me, this is why I've invested so much money into my website. It's because I'm tired of worrying about if something is going to be suppressed or if there's a word I can't say this week or next week or whatever. Fucking tired of it. And you can only imagine someone like Joe Rogan, who has significantly more influence than I'll ever have, but he's looking at it, and I think that has a lot to do with it. And I think it sends a really strong signal to the platform of YouTube that you guys keep doing this, people are going to start leaving, finding another route.
Especially bigger YouTubers like Joe Rogan. That's a huge thing. It's going to be a big blow to them, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I hope they kind of reconsider some of the censorship shit they've been pulling lately. I doubt they will, because they lack self-awareness. But I think you're going to continue to see bigger and bigger YouTubers go to different platforms.
The only thing that is not going to... The reason why this is not going to hurt them nearly as much is because PewDiePie just came back and signed an exclusive deal with them. So
That's
Lord
right.
knows they're making crap tons of money off of PewDiePie, because they get all this super chat cuts and membership cuts and everything. So I wonder how much, I don't know if it's ever been said how much they paid PewDiePie to come back.
But it's really interesting that they did, considering they kicked him off YouTube Red.
Well, let's be honest. It's like with anything when there's any kind of controversy. They go away for a bit, the controversy goes away, and they bring him back. It's the James Gunn effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they did though. They canceled his Scare PewDiePie series. They still haven't brought that back. He's clearly been pissed about that for a long time. He's even made a lot of comments about the fact that they canceled it, and that was a massive show.
So I think it got renewed for a 3rd season, but they never made it. So I think that's what he was pissed with. Because and essentially he did a dumb thing. Absolutely, 100%. He did a dumb thing. He said a dumb thing, but the press have been after this guy regardless. He dresses up in a Nazi outfit. He wasn't even in a Nazi outfit. He was just in a military outfit. He
proved
they want to create this narrative.
Them going after him after that too basically proved his point.
Yeah, but they don't care. They just want to. They want to get rid of him.
No, once he's gone, they don't care why. Yeah. No, they
don't like self-made guys.
So
no, I think PewDiePie is a blessing and a curse. Now, first of all, overall, he's a blessing to YouTube. I think it's great that he's the biggest creator, yada yada yada. But he's also in YouTube's eyes. And again, this is just my speculation. This is just me looking at it. I believe YouTube hates his existence, and I believe that YouTube actively doesn't let people hit a certain level, because of the fact is, like, if there's 10, 12, 15, 20, 30 PewDiePies out there, imagine how horrible that makes their life. You know what I mean? They don't like him. They don't like the fact that he speaks against the narratives. So I do think that they are careful about, like, we can't let someone get bigger than us again, because he's pretty much bigger than YouTube at this point.
Yeah, but he brings the money, though. That's the big thing.
Oh, 100%. 100%. So,
but even if you hear what he does nothing.
Oh, he does?
He just mucks around and watches a few memes and doesn't really, say anything political whatsoever, or antagonistic whatsoever. Just once in a while, he'll say something a little bit dumb, and guess what? That's human nature. We all do.
Yep.
Unfortunately, his career's out there for all to see, and it has a big audience that hear it.
He does speak against the woke narrative, though.
He does. He does.
But he doesn't. He's not like an activist or anything like that.
Not like us. He doesn't speak out at the level we do.
Yeah.
He has spoken out quite a bit about a lot of the stuff going on.
He went after Supergirl.
He went after, well, yeah, I mean, and that was just recent. But if you go back, I mean, he went after the whole pay gap.
He didn't go after it. He'd heard that the show was terrible and it was woke trash, and he hadn't ever seen it. So he said, "Let's have a watch of an episode." Watched it, laughed his ass off at it, ridiculed it like we all do with Batwoman and such. And then he had all the
so apparently
a huge
Disney
blowback. He tried to make it bigger than it was. He had a small blowback by just the crazy CW simps coming all in, going, "Tastes beautiful, tastes lovely," and just those. And it's nothing. He did nothing more or less than we do with the other CW shows we absolutely tear apart.
But like when he had Ben Shapiro on, boy, they'd lost their freaking minds when he had Shapiro on, or Elon Musk. They lost their minds when that happened. They're like, "It's a dog whistle!" Like, they just make.
Yeah, that's because they're crazy, though. They are insane people.
Absolutely.
I think you're right, Jeremy. I think he's gotten big enough. He's going to go over to Spotify. The day I heard it, I went over to Spotify, and I can't stand it. It's super mainstream, and I went to their top 20 list, and it was like New York Times, NPR. I'm like, what's he doing? And they're going to show his video, but I guess they're going to let him have whoever the hell he wants on. And that's according to Alex Jones, who came out in Zero Hedge and said that's the reason he left. Well, part of the reason, 100 million other reasons. But one of the reasons he left was he wanted to interview a couple of people who were in a video that has been removed. And he didn't like that. And he also wanted to bring back a couple guests that weren't allowed. So he just, basically left. But you're right, Jeremy. It's going to take him out of the view. He's not going to grow from it at all. He's big enough, but that's the fight we fight here. So let me refer to something that happened last week as regards to my chat, for example. Somebody wanted to come in and drop some F-bombs. At the time, I said it was fine. I changed my mind. So if you want to say the F word in my chat, just like put a couple asterisks in it or something like that. You don't need to say it because that hurts the video. I mean, it's bad enough that we drop F-bombs all day. But it's different in the chat, right? So it does affect the advertising, how visible we are. It might affect me getting ghosted right now. So until this ghosted problem goes away, I'm going to say, don't say it. And, a guy wrote me an email, and it was fine. It was fine. He was talking about free speech. And it's like, you can get your point across without it. I'm not a free speech absolutist. And if I'm off the platform, then I lose my free speech. And
exactly.
And everybody in here who's part of it loses ours. We have to. There's a thing I live by. I've told my kids this since they were wee littles. You got to play the game before you change the rules, okay? So I'm on YouTube's platform. I have no control over it. I got to play by whatever their rules are. I have no idea what they are. I got to kind of figure it out when I go. But you know what? And we just got to figure out ways to get our message across. Are we gonna have to learn some kind of code speak or city speak like Blade Runner? You know, like Gaff had to speak. I don't know. Maybe, but we have to do that for a while until we can do something else. Now, Jeremy's, you know what, is not sitting around and waiting. He's building his website. I'm not sitting around and waiting. I'm going to do something else. Everything's fine right now for both of us, for all of us here, but we all see what's going on right now, and it's disturbing. So Joe leaving is just another sign. It's just another, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts, and it's not good. It's not good for YouTube. They're going to miss him. He drew more people for his live stream than PewDiePie did. PewDiePie had 95,000 today or yesterday. I forgot what it was now. And Joe had 105,000, and PewDiePie's got what? Almost 100 million.
100 million plus.
Yeah, plus subscribers. So Joe's a big deal. When Joe talked about your boy Zach and Snowflake and Safe Space, that was a big deal. When Elon was up and he smoked that blunt, that was a huge deal. He's big. He's as big, if not bigger, than Johnny Carson was back in the day. So it's stupid, and I don't know how much, I'm going to actively go look for his podcast, but it kind of sucks that they're not on this platform, and I have to use one that I don't use at all. I don't know if you guys, I don't use Spotify at all.
I don't either.
I don't.
Yeah,
now, to be clear, so through the rest of this year, I believe the clips will be uploaded to YouTube. But
I think he's like officially switching over in August, I believe.
The end of the year is what they said. Like well, at the end of the year, we'll no more YouTube at all. Like no more uploads at all after the end of the year. So, and
Doesn't
again,
mean people won't be clipping it and uploading it.
Oh, they absolutely will, just like they do.
It's not intuitive. It's not a good interface at all. I don't see podcasts up at the top, and you think they just gave $100 million to Joe Rogan, like podcast will be the first thing you see. Now, I am going to load my podcast on it now. If you're on Podbean, I guess your podcast goes to Spotify and it will get absolutely buried, and you'll have to get past the NPRs and shit like that. I don't know. I don't think it's. I mean, $100 million, great, good for him. The guy is a chameleon. He's fucking. He gets fired from a show, goes into UFC. And then starts the biggest podcast ever, smokes a blunt now and then, talks about DMT all the damn time, and occasionally has a brilliant podcast. So, yeah.
Did he get fired from Fear Factor? Is that what happened?
No, he got fired from, was it Fear Factor? No, it was the other TV show. I think of the sitcom. I think he got fired from the sitcom. I could be wrong on that.
Just stand-up comedy, too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've seen him, dude.
Netflix specials.
Yeah.
There's one where it's hilarious. He gets up on a chair and acts like a demon because it's a what's his name joke, the Kardashian guy.
Yeah, I see him at the Fillmore, and he doesn't look anything like he did back then. He looks like a totally different person. He was just a skinny little comedian back then, but yeah, good for him, right, guys? Maybe we could all make $100 million deals.
One of these days.
I'll be happy with one.
Culture Casino for $2. Hashtag fear the deer. Fear the deer.
Fear the
be
Drew.
afraid, according to her, them, him.
Dude, some of the shit the deer person was saying is like, dude, it is very clear that you're an authoritarian. You took this position because you want to go and suppress people.
Yeah.
Twitch gave it to them for that purpose.
They have gotten an insane amount of criticism over this. They and even their CEO released a statement trying to justify it by saying that she didn't have power, but it's just like, no, this is bad. This is bad. It's getting so much traction. I think they're going to have to. People keep making noise about it. You know what I mean? Keep speaking out.
Yeah, I agree. That's the only way we can get these companies to change.
Things like this exist to push power, to push narratives. So they are part of a power, something powerful, in as much as it will influence or potentially change how things are done on Twitch.
Oh, the whole point of the council is to be more censorious. I mean, they made that very clear when they announced the council that it was to create rules and policies on speech and what you can and can't say.
Of course.
Well, they hired a mentally ill person, so well done. Well, not hired. They just did it for free. Taken advantage of a mentally ill person.
She's not a Twitch employee, and she doesn't speak for Twitch. Twitch just appointed her to the council.
Is that what it is? She's not an employee?
Yeah, that's what their CEO says, that she's not an employee, but she's advising on basically crafting their company's policies on various things regarding safety and
based on what?
Well, Twitch is going to crash and burn at this point.
Hey, comics, did you check a message in the private chat, please?
I thought I lowered it.
Yeah,
maybe it's not
still a little dominant over everybody.
How's
else.
that?
A little lower. Yeah, a little lower. I love doing this live on the air. That's fine. He's just like
sounds like Preston Poulter and his ex-wife.
It does. It does. It does.
Just a little lower. Just a
little. I'm surprised we're still on after that. Sent ya an email about super chats since they're casting Karen Gillan. I didn't see her. Stargate 404. I'm going to ask you. Did you put the word Stargate 404 in there? Because if you sent your email without that, I don't know who you are. So I didn't see an email about that, but I'll look again. Since they're casting Karen Gillan in the Pirates reboot, will they need 2 more to make Karens of the Caribbean? Maybe. Maybe.
She did put up a great tweet or Instagram where she just said, Karen, it's just I'm Karen and I'd like to speak to the manager.
And she's looking glorious in her.
I'd like to speak to the captain of your ship.
I demand to speak to the captain of your ship.
God, I kind of hope they make it. I mean, it'll be fun to clown. Yeah.
Make it all, baby. Make it all.
All right, you just
those Disney values.
And I'm not gonna lie, if you were gonna be doing it with anybody, Karen Gillan is I think, a great choice. So, hey,
it all depends on how the movie's going to be.
Yeah,
it could be good. Never know.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Maybe.